The American Silver Eagle dollar has a collector base bigger than the Morgan dollars. Unbelievable. This is an opportunity to get the last and the first. Take a look at what we have here, because we have a lot of coins. Well, we have a good amount of coins for what we're featuring. There will never be displays upon displays of this set that we can feature. It's just too rare. It's just too hard. Most of the 4,800 coins that have been certified are in the hands of collectors. We really have to go through a lot to get that 86. And I'll tell you, the 2020 from West Point being the last year is even harder, because everybody wants the last one. But when you can't get them anymore, that's when you want them the most. So ladies and gentlemen, I have to move along. I want to close by thanking you all for watching, and I want to say, I hope I've opened up the door to collect this great silver dollar. Nobody knows how long all the dates in between will be available in the top grade. We can help you do this. Think of it. We can do it by Mint Mart. San Francisco from 86 to 92. And then Philadelphia from 93 to 2000. And then the current ones. You watch our show, you'll see a lot of these coins right now. We are the only show who has that exclusive label. And now it is going to be recorded by NGC with separate totals for each one of these coins. Nobody else is going to be able to do that. So folks, thank you so much for watching. Remember that great price, $9.95. We can break it in two. It's really easy to do. Give us a call on this one, because everybody is buying these coins right now. This is so hot. I'm so happy to bring it to you. Again, thank you so much for watching. Don't go anywhere, and I'll see you soon.
I have a great rare gold coin for you today, folks. This is a coin that really should not exist in the condition I have it. It's a spectacular specimen. These coins were struck in 1894, and they really should not exist in the condition I have them in. It's the 1894P Liberty Double Eagle. I'd like you to take a look at these, folks. We have over 100 examples we acquired. And the story behind these coins is compelling. These are the largest gold coins ever struck for commerce by the United States Mint. A gold double eagle. Now, why do they call it the gold double eagle? Because the U.S. Mint has struck gold in various denominations, different size coins that have been struck since the late 1700s. Beginning with the coin on the far left is a $1 gold piece. That's a very small coin, folks. It's much smaller than a dime. And then you have a $2.50 gold piece, which is about the size of a dime. Then there's a $3 gold piece, a $4 gold piece called the Stella, and then a $5 gold piece, which is about the size of a nickel. And that's called the half eagle. It has just about a quarter ounce of gold. And then right after that comes the $10 gold piece with almost a half ounce of gold. And that was referred to as the eagle, because up until 1850, that was the largest gold coin struck by the mint. And so it was referred to as the eagle. And then in 1848, gold was discovered in California. And with this abundance of gold, our country was able to produce an even larger gold coin. And the larger gold coin would be of tremendous benefit to our banking system. And so this larger gold coin was made double the size of the eagle with nearly a full ounce of gold. And so it was called the double eagle. Now, these pieces in particular, folks, this date, really should not exist in the condition I have it in. Most importantly, now is the perfect time to acquire one of these gold double eagles. Never in the history of numismatics has there been such a great buying opportunity as we have today. And that was highlighted in an article that came out, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And I've been telling our viewers, talking about this for the last several years, a couple of years before this article even came out. But the title of it is it time for a new perspective on generic gold? And there's a sentence in here which is basically the essence of the story. To quote, "There has not been a time in recent memory when pre-1933 gold coins were obtainable for so little over spot." And again, this is what I've been telling our viewers now for many years. But what they mean by that, to give you a personal example, I remember it was 15 or 20 years ago. I was buying and selling gold coins. I remember I had gold double eagle, and it was a common date. It was in mint state condition, and gold was around $350 to $400 an ounce. And I remember selling it to a dealer for around $3,500. In other words, I sold it to a dealer for about 10 times the gold value because of the rare numismatic value of the coin. And it was a common date Liberty Gold Double Eagle. It wasn't a 94p. It was a more common issue. So it went for about 10 times the gold value. And that's what the premium was for gold, rare gold coins back then. Now we're in a time when gold's around $1,900, $2,000 an ounce. 10 times the gold value, folks, would be $19,000, $20,000. Now, when I say these coins should not exist, what am I talking about? Well, these coins were really the result of the Great Depression that hit our country in the late 1920s. In 1933 alone, there were an estimated 4,000 bank failures. The economic devastation throughout our country was unlike anything we'd ever experienced before. Now, 4,000 bank failures, folks. Think of how many millions of citizens were completely wiped out because there was no FDIC insurance back then. Your money wasn't guaranteed. So if you had your life savings in the bank, which you spent 20, 30 years accumulating, and imagine going to the bank the next day and the banks shuttered closed. They failed. You were wiped out. So, a lot of citizens who had their life savings in banks that had not yet failed were understandably terrified that their bank would be next. And so they began to pull their money out of the bank, and with the paper money, because again, this was during the Great Depression. I mean, paper money, with our government in such economic distress, who knows what that paper money would be worth, next week or a year from now. So with that paper money, what they did was buy gold coins. They began to buy gold coins because gold, throughout human history, you go back to Egyptian times, gold has always had value in every culture the world over. Now, this created additional stress on our banking system. So then President Franklin Roosevelt passed Executive Order 6102 in early 1933. Executive Order 6102 made the ownership of over $100 worth of gold illegal. If you had over $100 worth of gold, you had to turn it into the Treasury and get paper money back in exchange. You had to turn it in on or before May 1st, 1933. And if you were caught with over $100 worth of gold, folks, it was enforced. You faced a $10,000 fine or 10 years imprisonment or both. And again, it was enforced. Now, again, gold is the only thing you can count on. So what to do? What a lot of people did was buy the gold coins while it was still legal to own them before that deadline, and they proceeded to ship these gold coins in bags to these European banks where they've been in the vaults since the 1930s. These banks in Europe had bags and bags and bags of United States gold coins in their vaults. Now, most of the gold double eagles that were stored in the Great European Bank Hoard were the more recent years, understandably. Gold double eagles struck in the 1920s and early 1900s. You rarely see anything coming out of the Great European Bank Hoard pre-1900, like this 1894p. To give you an idea of how rare these coins are, folks, we have this chart here. This is a sample of some of the double eagles we have sold over the last several years on our show. In the St. Gaudens series, the most common date is the 1924p. There have been about 644,000 certified by NGC and PCGS. 97,000 of those have been MS62 and 87,000 have been MS65s. You go down the list and you get to rarer and rarer dates. You've got the 1926p there, only 50,000 examples certified. That's a very, very scarce coin. Now, in the Liberty Double Eagle series, by far, the majority of Liberty Double Eagles, when you find them in mint state condition, were issued in the 1900s. You see the 1904p there and the 1900p, which accounts for almost half of all the Liberty Double Eagles in existence in uncirculated condition. Once you get into the 1890s, like you see there, at the very bottom is the 1894p. Only 28,700 certified, only 11,794 in MS62 condition, with the condition we have these coins in today. Now here's a chart, folks, I'd like you to take a look at. It has the total population of all the Liberty Double Eagles and St. Gaudens Double Eagles certified in uncirculated condition, MS60 to 69 grade. Well, what do we mean by MS60 to 69? Well, coins are graded on a 70-point Sheldon grading scale that goes from a low of 1 to a high of 70. 70 represents perfection. Coins from this era do not exist in 70. Liberty Double Eagles do not exist in MS69. You look at the entire Liberty Double Eagles series, folks, only 1.2% of the entire mintage has been certified in uncirculated condition. And again, about half of those are just the dates, the 1904p and the 100p. Those two dates alone comprise almost half the entire surviving population. The 1894p, a handful of survivors in uncirculated condition. Now, in the Sheldon grading scale, a 60 is a coin that's never been in circulation. It doesn't really have any wear on the surfaces. Now, it'll have a lot of bag marks. Again, remember, these coins were struck for commerce, folks. They were struck from commerce. The Liberty Double Eagle is a large, heavy coin. It's a little smaller in diameter than a Morgan dollar, but it's 25% heavier. They're large, heavy coins. So if you can imagine one of these coins being struck, being ejected into the bin, the next coin being struck, ejected, falling on top of that. From there, they go through coin counting machines and they're dumped into these bags. They end up typically with a lot of heavy bag marks. And here's a Liberty Double Eagle dated 1903. Notice the deep cut along the jaw there. This coin is not even gradable, folks, because that cut, that gouge is so deep it would be considered a damaged coin. But this is what you would expect just from the process of minting these coins, minting these double eagles. Here's another date, the last year of the series, the 1907. And look at the serious scuff over Liberty's cheek there. If it is gradable, it would probably be an MS60. The highest grade any Liberty Double Eagle has ever received is an MS67. Now, the 1894P, again, is a rare date, graded MS62. That's an extremely high grade for an 1894P. If you go to the Smithsonian and look at their coin collection, they have the greatest collection of United States rare coins in the world. The 1894P in the Smithsonian is an MS62, the exact same grade as the coins we have today. These are the finer examples that came out of the bags from the great European bank hoard. Now, this particular coin is encapsulated by NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. We also deal with another grading service, PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. NGC and PCGS are the leading grading services in not just the US, but the world. And these holders are tamper-proof. The NGC holders are actually airtight. They're sealed. And it's your guarantee of the quality of the coin in the holder. Now, to give you an idea of what Liberty Gold Double Eagles can sell for, when you get to some of the rarer dates, some of the rarest dates in this series, here are some examples that are circulated, folks. They're not uncirculated, they're circulated. And they sell for hundreds of thousands, they can even sell in the millions of dollars. Here's an 1854O. AU58 means it's almost uncirculated. It was in circulation for maybe a month, and it's $834,000. Here's one, AU55, a little lower grade, that's sold in auction for over $600,000. There's a 56O, AU58, circulated, $460,000 in auction. There's an 1866S, again, circulated, almost $150,000, sold for in auction. Here's an 1870CC, over $400,000 in auction. And those are some of the rarer dates. But even the most common date, now I couldn't find any comparables for the 1894P in MS62 condition, okay? And I mean, it's a really, you just don't see these, folks. This is not a coin you can go to your local coin shop or a local coin show and expect to find an 1894P in uncirculated condition. They're just not out there. I could find comparables, though, for that 1904P. Again, the 1904P is the most common Liberty Double Eagle in mint state condition. By far, I mean, it's about 20 times easier to locate than an 1894P. And here's a 1904P in MS62. Same exact grade as the 94Ps we have here today, $4,200. Here's another one in MS62, $4,200. And these are dealers with 100% positive feedback. Here's one for $5,400. Here's one for $7,000. I think that's on the very high end of the spectrum, but you get an idea of what the premiums can go for. And again, the 04P is by far the most common Liberty Double Eagle in mint state condition. We've got these 1894Ps, folks. MS62. This is a superior grade. There are so few examples that have survived in uncirculated condition. Now, this is the best part of all. Recall at the beginning of the presentation, I talked about how the most common date gold double eagles were selling for 10 times their gold value. Again, gold is around $1,900, $2,000 an ounce today. That translates to 10 times that value. It comes to around $20,000. This is an example. I've got this scale here, Liberty and St. Gaudens Double Eagle condition rarity chart, where you have the most common date in the lowest mint state grades, like a 1904P, maybe an MS60 condition, selling for about $2,000. And then you have the coins that are over $1 million. This 1894P, you've got a coin that's over here on the rarity scale, okay? It's a tough coin. Pre-1900, in mint state 62 condition. But on the price spectrum, folks, take a look at one of these. If we had these for $4,900, it'd be a really fair price. You could go maybe find one at a coin show, and they might have it for $4,900 if you're able to find one. You take a look at these. How does a coin this old survive with so few marks? This is exceptional quality. Again, it matches the Smithsonian specimen, MS-62, mint state 62 condition. Among the finer examples from a small group of bags that came out of the great European bank hoard. $3,900 would be an exceptional price. $34.95 would be a buy it now price. But it would not be based on our cost. Our policy, the key to our success from day one, is to offer coins based on our costs, not on what the market will bear. That means when we get some good fortune coming our way, we're able to acquire a group of coins at a great, great price. We pass our good fortune on to you. And so we don't have these at $34.95. That would be an excellent price. We could offer them at $34.95 and we'd sell them, but it wouldn't be our best price. This is the part of the show I really love. Folks, call in now. Please call in now. Get an 1894P while we have them in mid-state 62, $2,995. You heard me correctly, $2,995 for an 1894P. I mean, if it were a 1904P, that would be a really good price. But it's an 1894P mid-state 62 Smithsonian quality, and if you can't swing the whole entire $29.95 today, we have a two-payment option. We want everyone who could possibly afford one of these coins, call in now because we have a two-payment option. All you have to do is put half down today of $1,497.50, and we will hold one of these coins for you. And that is so important. I can't tell you how many times we've had a rarity like this, and we get somebody calling in a week later to order one, and we have to tell them, I'm sorry, but we're sold out. This is one of those coins. So if you can put half down today, we'll hold one of these with your name on it, put it in our vault, and you pay the balance in 30 days. That's all it takes. And you'll get one of the best gold values in all of U.S. numismatics, folks. Again, this is the 1894P. I got one last chart to show you. They only struck about 1.3 million of these, all right? 1.3 million. The number certified in MS-62, less than 12,000. That's less than 1% of the original mintage. That's less than 1%. Not only that, folks, but when the U.S. government recalled all that gold, when all those U.S. citizens had to turn their gold in to the mint, to the Treasury, what did the Treasury do with all those gold coins? They melted them back down into gold bars. Fully 39% of all the double eagles struck were melted back down into gold bars. Fully 39% of all the gold double eagles ever struck were melted back down into gold bars. 39%. That's over 50 million double eagles. So the 1894P is rare in any condition. But to get it in uncirculated, mint-state 62 Smithsonian quality at this historically low premium. Again, there was a time when a rare coin like this would have gone for 10 times the bullion value, when gold was $300 to $400 an ounce. And here today we have gold hovering around $1,900, $2,000 an ounce. But it's not $20,000 for this coin, folks. It's not even $10,000 or $5,000. It's $29.95. $29.95. We have the two-payment option. Please call in now. We have a limited quantity of the 1894Ps. This is not a date we can oversell, folks. This is the first time I've ever had this quantity of the 1894P in mint state 62 condition. It truly is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I hope you can take advantage of it. This is a classic, folks. Classic, the largest gold coin ever struck for commerce by the United States Mint in Smithsonian quality Mint State 62 for only $29.95. Thank you for watching, but please stay tuned. We have another great presentation coming right up. Miles, do you know what I was so thrilled about back in 1992? After all these years when you're buying proof coins from this 1971 for decades, all the coins were clad. They had taken all the silver out.
Right.
Remember that? It felt like such a loss. And then in 1992, the Mint decided to reinstitute the 90% silver half-dollar, quarter, and dime in their proof sets.
Exactly. And superb quality.
At the very first sets, it was such an obvious difference because that snow white cameo and that silver was so different and beautiful compared to the clad, which
Well,
was
it
kind
just
of
shows up snowy white compared to a more of a darker gray satiny look, and not as precise and not as stark.
No, definitely not. And the coins were struck in limited quantity, folks. Take a look here. What we have today are the silver-proof Kennedys from the statehood quarter era. In other words, the silver-proof Kennedy struck from 1999, which was the first year of the statehood quarter series, to 2008, which was the last year of the statehood quarter series.
So you have 10 years of silver state proof sets.
That's right.
Then you have the silver Kennedys, and these are each individual coin that came from each individual year of the state quarter program from 1999 to 2008.
Now, folks, we've got an option for you here. This is going to be a short presentation because while I have almost 30 of the sets in 6.9, I only have 7 of the sets in 70 condition. It's really difficult. You guys, NGC is really strict when it comes to the 70 grade. And I'm sure, Miles, as a verifier over all the decades, there were a lot of times when the graders would hand you a coin that they graded 70, and as the finalizer, as the verifier, you would look at it and say, no, guys, I'm sorry, this is not a 70, and you would kick it back out.
It's human nature to always find something wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why coins fall out of those holders and they go down to 69 from 70. So, you know what? We try to have the quality be consistent and precise, and keep the coins beautiful for collectors to like.
Exactly, yeah. Folks, these are incredibly elusive. To get one of these coins, I mean...
And you've got a couple of good offers here. You've got them both in 69 sets and 70 sets.
Every one of these, again, folks, I review every one before I even submit it to NGC. That's why it has my ECC seal, because again, I review these, and you can see beautiful 90% silver Kennedy half dollars during the statehood quarter era from 1999 through 2008. The grading fees alone, again, if you're going to try to do this set yourself, you'd find that the grading fee is $20. There's a handling fee of $10. They're going to ship the coin back to your registered mail, which is $24. The cost of the coin, some of these silver issues, folks, Kennedy half dollars are $30, $40, $50 just for the coin ungraded. So if you try to do it on your own, for a 6/9 set would end up costing you well over $1,000. And then we have these same sets in 70. And very importantly, they struck a lot fewer of the silver sets than they did the clad sets. The silver sets are very, very low mintage. And look at these 70s. Absolutely flawless. Flawless under higher magnification, and that, I understand, is the standard, where they take a coin, and if it looks flawless under normal grading conditions, they then review it under higher...
Well, no more than 5-power magnification to find anything wrong with it.
Exactly.
And these coins have been deemed not to, and that's why they make the 70 grade, and they make it through the verification process, and they get shipped back to the owners.
And you can see for most of those years, they struck fewer than 1 million examples. That's the total mintages, folks. Now we've got these sets today, the 6/9 sets, okay? The 10 coin set The entire set, folks, is only $479. That's $47.90 a coin for the 10-coin set. $479 for the set in Proof 69 Ultra Cameo. They're all going to be graded by NGC in the state-of-the-art NGC holders. With my ECC seal, I've reviewed every one of these before they get submitted to NGC.
Ultimately, Rick, they've been double verified.
That's
NGC
exactly.
has verified them in their final state.
That's
of the grade,
right.
And you've approved them for your
I'm
customers.
really picky when it comes to proof coins for my clients. Extreme, I want my clients to have the best. Now we get to the 70s. Folks, now is the time for the 70 sets because I was not involved in the 70s back when they first came out some 15 years ago because the coins were going for moon money. I mean, here's some auction prices, folks, and these were for clad Kennedys with higher mintages. A 2000 that sold in auction for over $1,200, just the one coin. And here's one, a 2001, that sold for $1,725 for the one coin. Here's a 2002 that sold for $977. A 2003 clad that sold for over $2,500. This is a price realized. I was not involved in the 70s at that point in time. I just thought the prices were too high for what you were getting.
Well, the prices, the prices make it very collectible. You've set it so that somebody can get a nice 10-coin set in 69 or a 10-coin set in 70.
Yes.
Get a wonderful package of coins in the mail of a great Kennedys. And, there's so many, you have so many collectors of Kennedys around the world and on your television show, Rare Collectibles Television, that want to collect Kennedys. Yeah. These are all the silvers from 1999 to 2008.
Exactly. And this is the great time, folks. At $300 a coin, this set would be $3,000, which would be a much, much better price than you would have had to pay, say, 10 years ago.
Exactly.
$29.95 would be a great price. $19.95 would be an even better price.
But you've got a fantastic price.
I've got a fantastic price. We only have 7 of these sets, but we have the entire set, folks, for $1,095. $109.50 a coin. Folks, now is the time to build an incredible ultimate proof Kennedy collection. Because now I have a limited number of these sets. Limited number of these sets in NGC Proof 70 Ultra Cameo, the finest possible condition and grade, for $109.50 a coin. In other words, the entire 10-coin Statehood Series set for $1,095. I only have 7 of these sets assembled at this point in time. It's really difficult putting this set together, especially the 1999. I have a hard time getting that coin.
In the history of the U.S. Mint, there's only going to be one state quarter program.
Yes.
And these are going to be the largest size coins issued in those state quarter programs.
That's right, yeah.
And they'll be the only silver Kennedy half dollars from that program, period.
They're going to incredible demand for these. The Kennedy half dollar series. When you look on the NGC registry, Miles, and you look at all the collectors who have sets entered in the registry in the half dollar series, I mean, there's a lot of collectors with Walker sets. But the Franklin and Kennedy sets have by far the most collectors with their sets on the registry.
And especially the Kennedy. It's a global coin.
Yes.
His presidency of Camelot was very global.
Yeah.
I know collectors in South America. I know collectors in Europe, and I know collectors in Asia that collect John F. Kennedy half dollars simply because of his presidency and what he meant at the time.
I remember when he was in Germany. What was it? Ich bin ein Berliner.
That's it.
Yeah, John, that famous moment in time when he visited Germany. We have the set for you today, folks. Again, a short presentation. We have these sets in Proof 69 Ultra Cameo for only $47.90 a coin, $479 for the 10-coin set. Again, reviewed by myself and then submitted to NGC in the state-of-the-art NGC holders. These are, again, the Smithsonian holders. The same kind of state-of-the-art holders that the Smithsonian uses to house their own collection, the greatest coin collection in the world. And here you're getting the greatest Kennedy set in the world. highest possible condition and grade Proof 70 Ultra Cameo for only $109.50 a coin. Now $1,095 for the entire 10-coin set in the finest known condition.
And these two packages are great. You know, as a collector, you can get a 69
Great
set
place
of
to start.
69 set of 10 coins. Great for any collection.
Yeah,
If you want to step up, spend a little bit more money, buy the 70s, you can get that set at a little bit more money. But either way, these coins are a one-time happening in American history, and over what, 227 years of the U.S. Mint.
That's right.
That these coins are made. Period. That's it. They're not going to happen again. There's not going to be another state quarter program again.
That's exactly right. Because people talk about investing in bullion, for example.
Right.
And the point I always try to make is that, you know, gold and silver, there's always gold and silver reserves out there. There's a lot of mines, though, that aren't operating right now that are closed because of the low price of silver.
Right.
But as soon as silver spikes, it becomes worthwhile to reopen those mines, and all of a sudden there's this greater supply of silver that comes onto the market. That doesn't happen with these. What struck is all there is.
No, that's it.
That's it.
Like I said, in 227 years in the history of the Mint, there's only been one state quarter program, like I said. These are the only Kennedys, one of the most popular presidents in American history on a coin, one of the most heavily collected amongst beginning collectors, would I say novice collectors or advanced collectors. The global thirst for Kennedy and his coinage will always remain popular.
Folks, get them now. 10 coin Statehood Series set, Kennedy half dollars, 1999 to 2008. The silver issues, not the clad, the lower vintage silver issues, 6.9 Ultra Cameo, only $479. But then the ultimate set, the same years for only $1,095. We've got a lot of people calling in. Got to cut it right here because, again, I only had a limited number of these sets in 70 from Miles and I. Miles, thank you so much. This has been a thrill to be able to do this presentation with you. Thanks for watching, folks, but please stay tuned. We do have another great United States coin presentation coming right up. You're watching Rick's U.S. Coin Show on Rare Collectibles. I'm Rick Tamaska, and thank you for tuning in today. I have a great collection of incredible, beautiful, high-quality silver half dollars for you today. Now, first of all, I really don't think of myself as a salesman or a coin salesman. I'm a rare coin specialist, otherwise known as a numismatist, but otherwise known as a coin collector. That's really what I am. I will never consider myself a coin salesman. Now, what's the difference? Well, from day one, going back to the 1980s, my focus has not been to simply sell coins. My focus has been to help my clients build the collections of their dreams. Collections that would offer my clients, you folks watching today, tremendous future potential for you, your children, your grandchildren. Coins that I enjoy owning. I buy them because I enjoy owning them. I think they're great values and opportunities, and that I can then present to you. That is, in fact, what I've been doing, specializing in since the 1980s. And I think I have the track record to show for it. I mean, here's an award one of my clients received from NGC for the finest known Proof Franklin collection on their NGC registry. The top ranked set that was awarded in the year 2010. That's just one of the many, many awards my clients have received over the years. This is what I do, folks. There are so many people out there who know how to talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. Walking the walk is a lot of work. I've written 6 books to date. I began writing about Franklin and Kennedy half dollars in the mid-1980s. Back then, if you had gone to a coin show and asked dealers about Franklin half dollars, you most likely would have gotten a blank stare from the dealer, and you'd be told that those coins are so common, they're not worth collecting. Now, that all began to change with the publication of my first book in 1991. It was a lot of work. This first book, folks, took almost 5 years of working late nights and weekends, while I had a day job which I worked at least 50 to 60 hours every week. This first book was a tremendous commitment of time and money. But I did it because I knew that the rare United States Franklin and Kennedy proof coins I was writing about offered tremendous potential for collectors, for my clients. All they needed was the information to make the best possible buying decisions. And I believe I achieved that goal because over the years, apparently this first book has become highly sought after by collectors. I was truly shocked when a couple years ago, my secretary looked on Amazon and discovered used copies and new copies of my book being offered. The original list price of the book was $35, folks. And here's copies being offered. There's one for $225, $368, $400, $1,014, $1,692. I was shocked. I'm still to this day shocked. But that told me one thing, that the book achieved its goal. What I wanted to do was write a book that had useful information that could be used not just for the collectors of that day, but for future generations of collectors as well. Now, I've written 5 more books since then. The result for my clients, Franklin half dollars I once sold for $100 or $200 or $300 back in the 1980s and 1990s are now selling for thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars and more. Most recently, a new record was set in auction, $129,250 for a 1958 MS-67 Franklin half dollar, folks. Something that did not surprise me. I expected it. Over 30 years ago, I was telling my clients that there would come a time when truly superb Franklin half dollars would be selling for over $100,000. And that day has come. I doubt there was another dealer in the country who envisioned that back in 1985. Okay, that's my story in a nutshell. And that hopefully gives you a sense of why I am here. I'd like you to take a look at the Franklin collection that I have assembled for you that I have here today. Every Franklin struck in proof condition from 1955 to the last date in the series, 1963. A 9-coin set in NGC Proof 67 in my proprietary We the People holder. And this holder is so extremely important. Folks, not only are you getting the finest possible eye appeal and quality for the grade when you get it in this We the People holder, you will get a copy of my latest book in the limited hardcover edition, and you will get a 22-page brochure which explains why the We the People holder is so important. But briefly, without going into in-depth detail, only the finest Franklins go into this holder. I have exclusive control over the Franklin half dollars that go into this proprietary NGC holder. The coins are sent to me by NGC and I review them. And if I don't think it's the best quality for the grade, it remains in the NGC generic holder. Here's a couple examples. These are some 1954s I happen to have. I've actually already cracked these open so you can see the coin once I remove the top of the holder. But here's a 1954 Proof 67. It's correctly graded by NGC. But in terms of eye appeal, it's not premium for the grade. And I'll remove the cover that I had cracked apart prior to the presentation. If I can get it back apart, here we go. And when we zoom in, you can see some toning, smudging over the surface of the proof coin, which is very, very typical of these early proof Franklins. So technically, yes, it's a proof 67, but it's not a clear, deep mirrored proof 67. I have another example in the brochure here. Where I compare two 1950s, the first date in the series. Here's your typical 1950 proof 67, shallow mirrored. Here's a We the People 1950 proof 67. Very deeply mirrored, exceptional eye appeal and quality for the grade. Now folks, the Franklin half dollar series was struck for a very short time, from 1948 to 1963. It was scheduled to be struck for at least 25 years, through at least 1972, but for the tragic assassination of President Kennedy. Congress wished to commemorate the late president on one of our coins and left the decision as to which coin to Mrs. Kennedy. Mrs. Kennedy reasoned that of all the other denominations, the Lincoln cent, Jefferson nickel, Roosevelt dime, and Washington quarter, those coins had revered presidents which should remain on those coins. That left the Franklin half dollar. And Mrs. Kennedy reasoned, number one, Benjamin Franklin, while a great American and a founding father, was never a president. And number two, very importantly, she also reasoned that Franklin was also on the $100 bill, where he would remain. So she picked the half dollar. While the mint state Franklin half dollar was struck from 1948 to 1963, the proof Franklin half dollar was struck for an even shorter time. First proof Franklins were struck in 1950, and the last in 1963, along with the mint state Franklin. This set of proof half dollars I have for you, these Franklin proof half dollars, struck over 50 years ago at the Philadelphia Mint. And these are not just any set of proof Franklin half dollars. The coins in this set, again, rank among the finest in this proprietary We the People holder. They are of such extraordinarily high quality for their era. No other show in the history of coin television going back 30 years has ever offered a proof Franklin set of this caliber, except right here on Rick's U.S. Coin Show. Now, for all you new viewers out there, new collectors, these are proof Franklin half dollars. There are essentially two different coins, kinds of coins, struck by the U.S. Mint. There are coins struck for commercial use, and there are coins struck strictly for collectors, which we refer to as proof coins, which are meant to represent the state of the art. Mid-state Franklins were struck in large numbers. Here's some 1961 Franklins I have in mid-state condition. And here's an example, I just took it. Again, these are the kinds of coins that are meant to be spent for commerce. And they're struck under high-speed presses, struck once, the coins are ejected from the die press into a bin where one coin falls on top of another. They go through coin counting machines and dumped into bags where they accumulate bag marks. So by the time you get one at the bank, even though it's a brand new coin, never been spent, it's going to have a lot of bag marks on it. Proof coins, on the other hand, and this is what's always attracted me from day one when I started collecting when I was 10 years old. The very first coins I bought in a coin shop were proof coins. I bought a 1962 proof set. Proof coins are meant to represent the state of the art, the finest possible quality given the technology of the day. A lot of work goes into the making of a proof coin. Proof coins have been issued by the mint since the early 1800s. But back in those early days, they were only available to dignitaries or famous people or monarchs or ambassadors. They weren't available to the public until 1858. And back then, they were struck in very small numbers. They might only strike 100 or 200 examples of an issue. And back in this early era, In the mid-1950s, they only struck a few 100,000 in a given year. Now, a proof coin, to make a proof coin, it's very labor intensive. The mint takes the finest dies, and they are polished until the dies have a mirror-like finish. And then they take the coin blanks, and they give them a kind of polishing treatment as well. And then they slowly feed those coin blanks into the die. And they're struck not once, but twice under higher pressure to bring out every possible detail of the design as the mint intended. Many mint state coins, well, again, mint state coins are only struck once, and sometimes under inadequate pressure. So a lot of times you get these mint state coins, and there'll be a lack of definition on the high points because of inadequate die pressure. You don't get that with the proof coin. They're double struck under higher pressure. You see all the detail. And then, most importantly, once struck, they're not dumped into a bin like mint state coins. They're individually handled and then packaged in their own separate compartments, so they are never allowed to braid with any other coins. What makes these coins from the Philadelphia era so precious? These were the last proof coins struck on 90% silver planchets at the old Philadelphia Mint using these old technologies. After 1964, proof making was switched to the San Francisco Mint. And they began using advanced technologies to make proof coins. So nowadays when you get a proof set, the coins are of the highest quality. They border on perfection. Proof coins and mint state coins are graded on a scale from 1 being the lowest possible grade to 70 representing perfection. Nowadays, many of the proof coins you can get at the U.S. Mint are 70. They're perfection, which means they are flawless under high magnification. Franklin's do not exist in 70, folks. These earlier proof coins, the Franklin series and earlier, the highest possible grade you'll ever see is proof 69. Proof 67 is extraordinary. Here's a chart, folks, on the 1955 to 1963 Franklins showing you the mintages of these coins in mint state and proof condition. And you can see in the later years of the Franklin series, in mint state, they struck over almost 90 million coins for commerce in 1963. In proof, they struck about 3 million. 1962, about 45 million for commerce in mint state. About 33,200,000 in proof. You look at the 64 Kennedy, the 1964 Kennedy, that year alone, over 433 million struck in mint state and about 4 million in proof. But it's those earlier years when you go to those earlier Franklins where you see the mintages get infinitesimally small. 1958, they didn't even strike 1 million proof coins, 875,000. In 1956, only 669,000. In 1955, 378,000 coins. Folks, that is the smallest mintage by modern standards. And that coin is the first coin in this set. And it's in proof 67 condition. I gave you the example of that 1954 in proof 67. And you notice the toning and the haze in the fields. You look at this coin, folks. It is as pristine and beautiful as the moment it was struck back in 1955. It's like it was preserved in a vacuum all these many, many decades. And that is why it's in the We the People holder. This is a coin I personally reviewed. It was originally in an NGC generic holder. And I reviewed the coin, and it was of such high quality that I sent it to NGC with instructions to put it in the We the People holder. Now here are the total populations of the 9 coins you see. To date, there are only 125 examples of the 1955, 178 examples of the 56. You go on down there, the last date in the series, 1963, 139 examples in proof 67. Now, in the years ahead, those numbers will, of course, increase, but they will be a tiny fraction of the generic numbers you'll see in the NGC and PCGIS population reports. Because, again, these are the very finest examples, the most elite examples These are the kind of coins, when you look at it, you just say, wow, why isn't this a coin a proof 70? It looks absolutely perfect. The last date in the series, folks, in 1963. Now, this is a top-rated seller. This would be a retail price, a reasonable retail price, but a top-rated seller on eBay just for that 1963, $349 for that one coin in the set. Here's a 1961. It's probably the same top-rated seller, $349 for that coin. So right there for those two coins, just those two coins, we're at $700, folks. Here's a 1960, proof 67. That one's only $120. So we're over $800. 1959, a tough date. Tough date. We're getting into some key dates in the series. $550. So we're at around $1,400, just short of $1,400 for just those 3 or 4 dates. 1958, one of the toughest dates in the series. $550 just for the 1958. Why is that coin so expensive? Here's an example, folks. I have an original sealed 1958 proof set. It's never been opened. This is how it came from the U.S. Mint. We call them flat packs. This is the original envelope, sealed as it came out of the mint in 1958. When you open this set up, this is going to be a first. This is one of the few remaining 1958 sealed sets that I own. But every one that I acquired from this group had the same problem, and it's a problem that's so typical of Franklin half dollars from this era. I'm cutting it open. We're going to take a look at this set. In the cellophane, it looks really nice. However, what we're going to do is cut it out of the cellophane so you can see it unimpeded by the cellophane wrapper. And this is an exceptional example. But when we look closely, you can see at least 7 or 8 tiny white spots over the surface of the coin. Around the word God, at 3 o'clock by the rim, right in front of Franklin's nose, right in the middle of his head there, you can see a spot. These tiny white spots, we call them milk spots, but they do not come off the coin. They are part of the coin. And you see more on the reverse. You can see a larger one right on the yoke there at around 11 o'clock. Spots all over the coin. This is probably about a proof 64, proof 65. That's the typical grade. One of the major problems they had in quality control in this early era at the Philadelphia Mint when making proof coins was improper cleaning of the coin blanks. The coin blanks would go through a soap bath as part of the cleaning process. And they were then supposed to have that soap solution washed off the blank before it went into the die. But back in that early era at the Philadelphia Mint, they simply did not have the quality control that they have today. So many of these coin blanks would go into the die with some of that soap residue left on the blank. And when that die came down with 200 tons of pressure, that residue was struck into the coin, and it became a part of the coin. And so many, the majority of your Franklin halves from this era have that spotting problem. That's why you see that individual asking $550 for his proof 67. Here's a 57. Again, a top-rated seller, $180. We're around $2,100. And folks, there wasn't a comp for the 62. I haven't included a 62 yet, and we're over $2,000. Now we get to the 2 earliest dates in the set. Here's a 56, $215. We're around $2,300. And finally, the earliest date in the set, here's a 1953 in proof 67, $300. A top-rated seller, we're around $2,700, $2,800 for the set. And again, these are just generic NGC Franklins in proof 67. I've got this entire set today, folks, okay? Premium examples, all right? Premium examples, the finest proof 67s for $105 a coin. $949 for the entire 9-coin collection. You won't find a finer quality, more eye-appealing collection of Franklin half dollars for anywhere near this price in the entire nation. Again, hand-selected by yours truly for eye appeal and quality, the finest Proof 67s for only $105 a coin. The Franklin half dollar series is the last half dollar series struck entirely in 90% silver, folks. And you have this collection today, extraordinary, for only $105 a coin. You're getting the book, the hardcover limited edition, which is a $45 value right there, and you're getting the brochure that explains the We the People holder. This is something that is really a set about your future. This is a roadmap where you're getting the opportunity to collect a set of silver half dollars struck from an earlier era in superb high-quality condition for a collector-friendly buy-it-now price. You know, this is my specialty. This is what I've been doing, since the early 1980s. And I have opportunities to get some of the finest Proof Franklin half dollars. Going through the set, folks, again, the last 9 coins of the series from 1955 to 1963, an extraordinary Proof 67 condition. This is what I specialize in. This is the kind of collection that really makes me very, very happy as a specialist in these coins. You know, I have always loved finding coins that offer my clients exceptional eye appeal for their date, exceptional quality, exceptional rarity, at a real collector-friendly price. And to get a 9-coin set, when some of these dealers are asking almost $1,000 for individual examples, and I have the entire set for only $949. Again, that comes out to about $105 a coin. Again, these coins are reviewed by me and encapsulated in the We the People holder. So you're getting the finest quality at the best possible price. This is a great way to start a top quality collection of a really underrated silver half dollar series in the United States coinage. We've got the 9-coin set from 1955 to 1963 in Proof 67 condition. When you get to the point where you want to complete your set and get those earliest dates from 1950 to 1954, give us a call. We will complete this set for you in Proof 67 condition. And that is an extraordinary collection that years from now you'll look back on with tremendous pride. And this is the kind of set you really want to pass on to your kids and grandkids, because the coins like this, silver half dollars like this of this quality, are getting rarer and rarer by the week. This is the perfect grade at the perfect price point. In Proof 67, where I can offer it for only $105 a coin. I mean, folks, if I went down a grade to Proof 66, I'd save you maybe $150. But the difference in quality between a Proof 66 and a Proof 67, and the difference in rarity, you're getting so much more coins, so much more rarity, so much more eye appeal for that Proof 67 grade. It's really the perfect grade to build a beautiful, beautiful set of Franklin half dollars. I hope you take advantage of it. Thank you for watching. This may be the most important event in independent third-party grading in the last 20 years, folks. NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, along with PCGS, are the leading independent third-party coin grading services in our country. And I've been working with NGC over the past couple years, creating a momentous new holder that offers the highest recognition to those Franklin half dollars that epitomize the most extraordinary specimens that offer the collector the greatest possible eye appeal and quality for their grade. In short, those Franklin half dollars that, in their opinion and mind, represent the best of the best for their grade. And in recognition of these most extraordinary proof and mint state Franklin half dollars, NGC will also have a separate population table for these coins, distinguishing these exceptional Franklin half dollars from examples in the typical generic NGC holders. Folks, I'd like you to take a look at the coins I have for you today. These earliest proof Franklins, struck during the box set era. I have the 1952, 1953, and 1954 in proof 67 in the new We the People holder that we have designed, NGC and I, specifically for these outstanding Franklins. And to give you an idea of the difference, I have a 1954 in the We the People holder, and we can compare it to that 1954 to the right that's in the generic NGC holder. This 54, folks, in proof 67. Look at the mirrors. Haze-free, spot-free, as pristine as the day it was struck back in 1954, in essentially flawless condition. I mean, it's flawless to the eye, let's put it that way. It looks like it just came off the die and you caught the coin on a velvet pillow and you managed to preserve it in some kind of vacuum to ensure that the coin would not develop any unsightly toning or spotting over the many, many decades. It is spectacular and it is rare. Now, compared to the generic 1954, these early Franklins, folks, especially during the box set era, and I'm going to show you the box sets that these coins came in. You look at the haze on this coin. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sacrifice this coin by cracking it out of the holder so you can get a better idea of exactly what I'm talking about. Folks, I'm going to go off camera for just 1 minute while I crack this coin out of the holder. I'm going to sacrifice it, this proof 67, because these are not the kind of coins that I want to offer you folks, my clients. Rare coins are just not about the grade on the holder. It's about the eye appeal of the coin in the holder. I'm going to swing around here and got to go on the floor here to crack this out. Obviously, this is not something I do very often with taking an early date like this, a rare date, and cracking it open. But this is, let's say, an educational exercise that we're having some fun with. You can see these NGC holders, folks, are really state-of-the-art. They're airtight. The coins are sonically sealed. This plastic is actually sealed so it's a one-piece unit, so it takes a lot of work to actually get this open. I think we about got it. All right. Okay, this coin is no longer in a proof 67 holder. Take a look at this piece here. Look at that toning, that heavy toning around the periphery of the coin. Folks, that toning doesn't come off. I write about this in all my books. It comes from the packaging used in the box sets that these coins originally came in from the U.S. Mint. Look at the haze on the reverse as well. Now, these We the People holders will pertain to all Franklins, not just proofs, the Mint State coins as well. We've got a couple Mint State, toned Mint State Franklins. It's in the generic NGC holder. Here's a 58D MS66 FBL in a generic NGC holder. Typical unattractive toning on a Mint State Franklin. This is not attractive, folks. This will not go into a We the People holder. On the other hand, here's one that I acquired with spectacular color toning. That 58D I just showed you, even though it's a 6.6 FBL, I wouldn't even pay $100 for it. I paid over well over $2,000 for this coin, folks. Even though it's a 6.5 plus, it's a lower grade, but the eye appeal for the grade is spectacular. And this will be submitted to NGC for their We the People holder. This kind of coin, when you look at the grade, again, it's a 6.5 plus star. It's a lower grade, but superior eye appeal. Now, these earliest Franklins I have for you, struck from 1952 to 1954, were struck in really small numbers. These are proof coins. Now, proof coins are the highest quality coin struck by the U.S. Mint. They're meant to represent the state of the art. Mint state coins are dumped into bins where they're braided with other coins. The mint state coins are struck for commercial use. Proof coins are struck for collectors. The Mint's been striking proof coins since the early 1800s. In the early days, they were presented to dignitaries, ambassadors, kings and queens as presentation pieces. They were meant to represent the technology of our day, the most perfect coin that we could strike with the machinery, with the craftsmanship that we had at our minting facility. And today, again, that's exactly what a proof coin represents, the state of the art, the highest possible quality the Mint's able to produce given the technology of the day. And to make these coins, they will take the finest dies, polish them to a very high degree, put them in place. They give a polishing treatment to the coin blanks as well, put them in the die press, slowly strike them at least twice under higher pressure to bring out every possible detail. They're individually handled once struck. They're not allowed to abrade with any other coins. So there's a lot of work that goes into them. And in the early days, very few proof sets were issued in the Franklin series. When you look at these mintages, the coins struck for commercial use, the Franklin half dollars were first struck in 1948 for commerce. In that year, they struck about $7 million for commerce, the spending money. In 1949, $13 million. And you can see the first year, 1950, when they struck proof coins, mint state coins, they struck about 15 million examples. Proofs, only 51,000 coins. The last year of the coins I have for you today, the last year of the box set era, 1954, they struck about 43 million coins for commerce, but in proofs, only 233,000 coins. And there you see the mintages, 1952, 53, and 54, minuscule mintages. But most important was the fact that the technology in those early days and the packaging was really horrible by modern standards. Today, when you get a proof set, it comes in the most modern packaging. It's a hard plastic packaging that protects the coins. This is a proof set directly from the U.S. Mint, and the packaging is inert so that when you get the coins, they have beautiful, brilliant surfaces, and they're protected. This hard plastic packaging protects the coins from abrasion with any other surface. These early sets, like the 1954, 1953, and 52, this was what I call the box set era. The coins came in these little cardboard boxes. This is an original cardboard U.S. Mint issued box set. This is a 1953, and it was sent third-class insured mail, folks. It's unbelievable, really. Here the Mint goes to all this work to create these proof coins, and then they use the cheapest possible, least expensive packaging that does nothing to protect the coins. And again, this is something I emphasize in all my books. It's going to be the subject of my next book coming out on Franklin and Kennedy proof half dollars and mint state half dollars. And then when you get your packaging shipped in this insured mail, you open it up, and the proof set would be wrapped in this tissue paper has obviously been used many times before. This is the original tissue paper, and in the case of this 1953 set, each set would be stapled in its separate little cellophane envelope, like that. The problem with these cellophane envelopes, well, you had a couple issues. Number one, look at the staple. Look at the rust marks in the staple. You'd get rusted staples, and the rust would fall into the little compartments and abrade against the coins and hairline them. But more importantly, this cellophane was very brittle, and the largest coin, the $half, would usually crack out of the cellophane envelope and just abrade against the cellophane and other surfaces. And so it would get very, very hair-lined as it was being stored. The other problem, though, was the poly bags they switched to in mid-1954. Because they were having so much problem with the brittle cellophane, they switched to a softer material that was pliable, that wouldn't deteriorate like those early cellophane envelopes. And so they used this soft vinyl material that would store much better. The problem with these was that these people at the Mint obviously were not chemists, because these polyvinyl envelopes were not inert. In other words, they were oil-based. The material in these polyvinyl envelopes would chemically react, especially with the silver coins, and develop a very heavy toning on the coins, like you see on this 1955. A very heavy toning, and like you saw in the 1954 I showed you, which came from the same kind of packaging. The reverse looks like it's been in a coal pit for the last 60 years, folks. And it doesn't come off. That's the most important thing to remember. This is something I wrote about in my very first book about these early proof Franklins. Now this book came out in late 91, early 92. And I'm very proud of the fact that you can sometimes find brand new copies of this book on Amazon. I've seen some being offered original copies for over $1,000. Okay, I think it's had this book has had great legs, because when I originally wrote it, I wanted to make sure that I had solid information in the book that would be useful not just to the present generation, but to future generations as well. And here's what I wrote about the 1954 and 55 proof Franklins. While these new envelopes, these polyvinyl envelopes I'm talking about, helped cut down on the number of hairlines that 1954 proof Franklins normally received, they had proved inadequate for long-term storage for a different reason. They were not inert. They were not inert. In other words, the composition of these envelopes would chemically react with its contents. Most proof Franklins stored in these envelopes for any length of time would develop a dark purple toning that was particularly heavy on the reverse. While some collectors may like this kind of toning, most do not. And while this toning could often be removed with a coin dip, many times dipping would only further exacerbate the problem by transforming the original purple color to a rather ugly brownish stain. And so that's one of the big problems you had in these early Franklins. You had these low mintages and the horrible, horrible packaging. And so we're getting to the key dates here, folks. Today I have the 1952, 1953, and 1954. The 52 and the 53 and the 54 I have for you today. You can see that 52 is every bit as rare as the 1942 Walker, because these Franklins, these early Franklins, had so many production problems, so many quality control problems. There are just very, very few survivors in high-grade condition, folks. These early dates in beautiful, brilliant Proof 67 are almost impossible to find. In the new We the People holder, these coins are going to be so very, very rare. The later dates issued, which are not nearly as rare. Here's a 1959 in Proof 67, a top-rated seller with 100% positive feedback, $800 for 1959. Here's a 1958, $399. Here's another top-rated seller Almost 100% positive feedback for 1955, $990. Again, look at the populations on these 3 coins I have for you today. They're extremely rare. And I have to emphasize, this is very, very important. Those populations you see are for all the Franklins they've certified in Proof 67. The examples in We the People holders will represent 10 to 20% of that total. That's how elusive they are in beautiful, fully brilliant, problem-free condition. All these Franklin half dollars struck from 1950 to 1954 are struck with the Type 1 reverse. And that is really important as well, because from 1950 through early 1956, they used what we call the Type 1 reverse. In early 1956, the Mint changed the reverse to what they call the Type 2 design. And that was used throughout the rest of the series. This Type 1 reverse is extremely rare. For the Franklins combined from 1950 through 1956, fewer than 1 million Franklins were struck with this Type 1 reverse. And you see it, it's noted by the feather detail on the eagle. The Type 1 reverse, there's no neck feather detail. There's no wing feather detail on the eagle or leg feather detail. They redesigned the eagle early in 1956. They gave it all that feather detail in the wings, the neck, the legs, and that's the reverse you see on virtually all the 1956 Franklins through the end of the series in 1963. So these early Franklins are further distinguished by the fact that they have this very rare Type 1 reverse design. And yet I'm able to offer these coins today at a price where I've cut out all the middlemen. When I started specializing in Proof Franklin half dollars, back then I just selected the very, very finest early Proof Franklins. Decades later, I'm able to pass them on to you. The very finest from the earliest Proof Franklins, struck with the very rare Type 1 reverse design. If you want the 1954, folks, it is so rare in Proof 67. Of all the Proof 67 certified, they've only certified 2,700 examples. And again, in this kind of quality that you see here, folks, that's about 10 to 20% will earn the We the People designation. Look at these specimens. They are fabulous, folks. They're extremely rare. They are so undervalued. I have them for only $459 a coin. Again, we're getting to the key dates in the series. These are the coins from the box set era with the lowest mintages. The total original mintage of the 1954, only 233,000 examples originally struck, and there are very, very few survivors, the likes of what you see right here. This is as good as it gets. The very finest examples to earn the We the People holder from NGC, coins that I've personally inspected, and only $459 a coin. But it gets even better, because if you want to get a 1953, only around 1,100 examples certified, folks. Fully brilliant, no haze, no spots, in Proof 67 in the new We the People holder. And I've got the coins for only $1,095. Very rare Type 1 reverse design. And finally, I have one of the rarest key dates that has been almost impossible to get in brilliant, haze-free Proof 67. And it's in the We the People holder. I have a handful of these examples. These 52 Proof 67 grades, these are the highest grades I've been able to get into the We the People holder to date. That is how elusive and difficult these coins are. These coins are absolutely extraordinary. And I've got these 1952s for only $1,395. $1,395. You're getting the finest Franklins from this early era, the most desirable Franklin, There are just very, very few survivors in high-grade condition, folks. But if you get the set, you save over $50 a coin. You can get all three for $2,795. And I will also give you one of the limited hardcover editions, the third edition of my Franklin and Kennedy half-dollar guidebook. The third edition, special collector's library edition signed by yours truly, will come along with this set. This will get you started on the right foot, folks. The first edition received the Numismatic Literary Guild's Extraordinary Merit Award. It's something I'm most proud of. It's a book that's really, really informative. We're working on an encyclopedia of Franklin and Kennedy half dollars as I speak today. The encyclopedia, also published by Whitman, will be much, much larger. These series are becoming so important within the numismatic community that it's time for an encyclopedia of this kind of size for the Franklin and Kennedy series. You know, the Franklin and Kennedy half-dollar series are the two most popular half-dollar series in all of U.S. numismatics. They're just incredibly popular for all the right reasons, because you're getting coins that offer you extraordinary eye appeal, incredible quality, and a tremendous amount of rarity at an affordable price. And it's possible to complete one of these sets in Proof 67. That's just incredible quality that you can't do for earlier Proof series, which are really out of the price range of most collectors. If you're talking about Proof Morgan dollars, Proof Barber half dollars, and high-grade Proof 67, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. I can recall back several years ago when silver was around almost $50 an ounce. There were so many dealers on other shows telling their viewers to back up the truck and buy silver now. It's such a great deal. And when it was like $40, $45, $47 an ounce. Today, silver is $15 an ounce or less. It's lost over 70% of its value. All those collectors, all those viewers who took that advice, it's going to be a long time before silver ever gets back to $47 an ounce. I believe that someday we'll get back to $47 an ounce, even $100 an ounce. But when that time comes, I have no idea. What I was talking about back then, folks, at that very same time, were high-grade Proof Franklins. When you could put together a Proof 67 set for $3,800 or $4,000 in that range. And even though silver has taken a tremendous drop in value, these rare numismatic Franklin half dollars, extremely desirable, have almost tripled in value to over $10,000 for the same set. And folks, this is just the beginning. This is still the ground floor, because now we're getting to the point where this well is almost dry. Virtually all of these early Proof Franklins, all these early Proof sets, have been plundered for the finest Proof Franklin half dollars. There's very few examples remaining out there, very few original sets that have Franklin half dollars of exceptional Proof 67 quality. Take a look at the populations, the rarity of these coins. Again, these are for all the examples graded by NGC and Proof 67. The Franklins and the We the People holders will have their own separate population totals in the NGC population reports, folks. And they will be a small percentage of the numbers you see here. That is really important for you collectors watching right now. And to be able to offer them for essentially the same price as the generic Franklin really is a tremendous, tremendous opportunity. You look how rare these coins are. That 52, only 798 coins. That's all the generic Franklins. And we're just talking about the We the People examples, which are going to be maybe 10 to 20% of that total. And you compare those numbers to the later Franklins that are the tens of thousands, and you get then to the coins at the very bottom. You get the 1964 Kennedy, over 16,000, graded in Proof 67, and there's one more coin at the very, very bottom that I added. Now you see the 2019 S Kennedy, 0 graded in 7. How come? Well, that's because all the 2019 S. Kennedys graded are either proof 68, proof 69, or proof 70. Most of them are proof 69 and proof 70. In fact, over 20,000 2019 S. Kennedys have been certified in proof 70 condition. No Franklin has ever been graded in proof 70 condition. The coins you see here are just spectacular. And like I said, in the We the People holders, so far to date, the 1952 and the 1953, the highest grade I've been able to get in the We the People holder of these two earliest dates is proof 67. And one last time, the proof 1952, We the People, proof 67 is only $13.95 a coin. The 1953 set, only $10.95. And the 54 is just an absolute bargain, $459. They're all a bargain. But for $459, this coin is so undervalued. Struck with the very rare Type 1 reverse design. In the condition you see them in, haze-free, pristine, deeply mirrored, as beautiful and clear and perfect to the eye as the day they were struck. And you can get the entire set for only $2,795. It includes the special collector's library edition hardcover signed by yours truly with this tremendous, tremendous early proof Franklin collection. We're getting a lot of folks calling in, folks. I want to thank you for watching this presentation. I hope you're able to take advantage of it, but I gotta cut it right here because of the really limited supply of these early key date Franklins. Thank you for watching.
Welcome, coin collectors. Welcome to Rare Collectibles TV. I'm James Gerstel. I'm here with a really fantastic gold coin, and I don't have that much time for this presentation, so I want to get right to it. Rare Collectibles TV. We don't deal in the ordinary. Now, we could, but look at what we have found for you guys. These coins are from 1913. They are the second masterpiece created by Augustus St. Gaudens. Now, everybody knows the $20 gold double eagle, Augustus St. Gaudens' numismatic masterpiece. But many people are not aware that he designed the $10 gold Indian, equally considered one of the greatest numismatic achievements the world has ever seen. In fact, let's take a quick look at this coin, because we have it in a grade and a year that is both very unusual to have it in a mint state 63, and this particular date of 1913 is an extremely difficult coin to get. I'm going to give you all the factual information. What you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is a mint state version of a United States gold eagle designed by Augustus St. Gaudens that features, for the first time ever, Lady Liberty wearing the Native American headdress. And it's very controversial for its time. In fact, it was artistically amazing. And as you can see, this coin exhibits an extreme lack of contact points, and it exhibits an amazing amount of original luster. This coin, this particular date, and in this grade, is a total miracle, if you really want to get right down to it, that I'm even here today with the amazing quantity that we have. And I always tip my hat to the buying department at this great company, because when we bring gold to our collectors, we bring the type of gold you want to own. We bring you rarity and some of the most unbelievable grades. And, of course, the greatest price. Take a look at all those United States gold eagles, ladies and gentlemen. The $10 gold Indian, first struck in 1907, designed by Augustus St. Gaudens. Now, Augustus St. Gaudens, the preeminent sculptor of his time, an amazing artist. He was the mentor and the teacher to so many great United States coin designers that came after him. In the early 1900s, after he had designed Theodore Roosevelt's inaugural medal, he was asked by Teddy Roosevelt himself if he would, and this was very controversial for the day, going outside the U.S. Mint to commission a designer to design United States coinage. It had never been done before. All this was normally done within the mint. But Roosevelt was extremely displeased with the artistic quality of our coinage. And Roosevelt wanted our coin designs to reflect a more artistic angle. He was a student of art all his life. He appreciated great art, and he wanted great art to be reflected in our coinage, much like it had been in ancient Roman times. So here comes Augustus St. Gaudens. He was the right man for the job. And this $10 gold Indian, the design was actually the design that was first thought of by Augustus St. Gaudens for the new $20 gold double eagle. And in the end, of course, a different design was used for the St. Gaudens. And for the $10 gold, this design was selected. But this design was originally the pattern design for the double eagle. Now, I want you to take a look at a really important point. Throughout its history, the United States government has melted coinage that we struck. No coin was melted more than the $10 gold. They melted a lot of 20s. But when you look at $10 gold, nearly 50% of all the $10 gold eagles that were struck were melted by the government. There's a lot of reasons why, and I'm going to get to them in a second. And I want you to remember that date range there, 1933 to 1940. Numismatically speaking, one of the most important periods of time in U.S. history. It was at a time during the Great Depression. It was at a time during the run on banks. It was a time during massive gold hoarding by American citizens out of panic, out of fear. And it was a time when American citizens were ordered to turn in their gold holdings that of any significance or face fines and imprisonment. The reason why the government wanted people to turn in their gold during those years of 1933 to 1940 for melting, gold was needed desperately to prop up the U.S. economy during the Great Depression. We are specifically talking about a great date. 1913, $10 gold Indians struck at Philadelphia. Mintage wasn't high for this coin, 442,000. The finest known, MS-67, only one exists. In a Mint State 66, only 19. This is a scarce coin. Hardly any are grading in uncirculated condition. In a Mint State 65, look at that, only 85 coins. They began grading coins 1985, and up till this point in time, only 85 coins graded. We'll take a look at a Mint State 63. Only 1,268 Mint State 63, 1913 Philadelphia struck $10 gold Indians have ever been certified. And we have a nifty little quantity here. I want to further illustrate to you why this coin is scarce. Double eagles from 1850 to 1907, those would be Liberties. 103 million coins were struck. The St. Gaudens, 70 million. And then take a look at the Liberty Gold from 1838 to 1907, 42,684,196. And then the smallest gold series of $10 eagles, the Indian Eagle, designed by St. Gaudens from 1907 to 1933, 14,867,345 coins. Gets even better. In the mid-'80s, grading services, specifically two of them, started to independently grade coins. These grades became so accurate and these grading services became so sought after that they really became the Bible of coin grading. And these standards that were established by the grading services have been adopted by collectors, dealers, investors, everywhere. And so today, these are the coins that are in demand. But here's the trick. The mintage wasn't that large. Many of the coins were melted. We saw the amount of $10 gold melted was very close to 50%. So that's after the government forced all the citizens to turn in their gold that was valued in excess of $100. And what they did with all those gold coins that were turned in, they melted them into gold bars and they stored them in Fort Knox. So when you look at the scarcity of the coin, we judge it by what survives. Percentage certified MS60 or higher. And Mint State 60 is the beginning grade of uncirculated. And we've seen that the highest grade is a Mint State 67. And hardly any exist even in Mint State 65. So we see that in Mint State 60 or higher, there has only been 5,754 coins that have been certified, which is 1.3% total certified of the mintage of 1913 Ps. 1.3% grade of Mint State 60 or higher. Now, that's important. A minute ago, I showed you populations in Mint State 64, one grade higher than the coin we're doing. And I want to show you why what we're bringing to you in a Mint State 63 so valuable and so immediately obvious to be added to your collection. That's a little bit of a pushy statement, but I make that statement because the rarity of $10 gold Indians is well established. I want you to take a look at a Mint State 64 from an auction, $5,875. Same date, by the way. And I want you one more time to pay careful attention. There's only 1,268 coins that have ever been certified. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big event. Number one, ordinarily when you would see a coin like this that has such a small surviving amount in uncirculated, not even 5,800 coins across the board. Look at the quantity that we have. It's impressive. We worked really hard to bring, these are all one solid date and one solid grade by one solid grading service. That's really difficult to do, even for us. And I want you to remind yourself one more time of the universe of only 1,268 coins. That's it. And the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, that the vast majority of those 1,268 coins are right now in coin collections. In coin collections that are just rock solid, never coming out. They're there forever. That's that space for 1913 in that series. This is an opportunity to really go big without spending a lot of money. This coin right now is $2,195. We're splitting the payments in two equal payments of $1,097.50. So when you give us a call right now and you want one of these coins, you take advantage of the two-payment option. What happens is one of these coins, maybe even this one right here, is going to be put aside with your name on it. And after a month goes by and you make that second payment, this coin will be coming to you. No matter what happens to these coins, because I can tell you right now, there has never been an instance when coins like these have not sold out. There aren't even 1,300 of these coins in existence. This is a legitimate United States gold rarity from a time that shouldn't even exist. Now, let me give you the other part of the story. I mentioned the great melts of the 1930s. But before that could even happen, you have to understand in 1929, the Great Depression. The Great Depression was a time in America where in many regions of this country, there was 25 to 35% unemployment. Banks were closing left and right. In 1933 alone, close to 4,000 United States banks went under, just in 1 year. Thousands, even millions of Americans who had their money in these banks lost everything. Well, when other Americans heard about these tragic events, they began to line up at their banks, and there was a run on the banks. they began withdrawing all their money. The reason why they wanted to withdraw all their money is because they wanted to switch from paper to rock solid gold. Even back in the 1930s, people knew that the original form of money was gold. Even back in Egyptian times, people knew that the original form of money was gold. So that tradition has never gone away. That history never gone away. And today it's more important than ever. We're living that right now. This is a scarce coin. Let me tell you, Mint State 63 is one of the greatest grades for a $10 gold Indian. Traditionally, the biggest jump in prices was always Mint State 62 to Mint State 63 because the cutoff was Mint State 63. Because those were the coins that retained all that original luster, all that original strike, all that original detail. Look at these coins. They are spectacular. They're stunning in appearance, what we call eye appeal. They have it all. The strike, the crispness of strike, the luster, the rarity of date, and that grade of Mint State 63 that has been third-party graded. $2,195. I want to show you a price that I pulled from an auction that took place 14 years ago. Today, the price of gold is 3-4 times higher. This is important. Back in 2006, this coin, same coin by the way, same grading service, auctioned off for $2,300. Well, that was multiple times over its gold melt value. Something amazing has happened in numismatics. It's a temporary trend that we all know. The fact that premiums for United States gold are at their all-time lows. The premium over its intrinsic value. There's proof right there of the constant fact that these coins trade at multiple amounts over their gold value. So when we can bring a coin to the show today that's selling for less money than it did 14 years ago when gold was a third of the price that it is right now. I mean, you're looking at gold that's heading towards $2,000 once again. And we're able to bring you this coin. I believe in 2006, the price of gold was a little bit under $600 per ounce. So that coin at $2,300, today, that same coin would auction off for twice the money. And you can see it in the Mint State 64. That's bringing almost $6,000. And that was a great buy. And today, ladies and gentlemen, when coins are trading today at premiums that are at their all-time lows, this is a great buying opportunity. And I want you to know that we have sacrificed nothing in terms of quality to bring you this price. This is the question everybody asks. How did you do it? Here's how it happened. I was telling you about the Great Depression. Well, you can't talk about the Great Depression and the great gold melts of the Great Depression of the 1930s without talking about a certain presidential order, number 6102. If you look it up, you'll see. It happened in April of 1933, and the president at the time was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Interestingly enough, a cousin of Teddy Roosevelt, who was responsible for the design of this very coin. At the time, the Great Depression was at its height, 1933. President Roosevelt ordered that all Americans holding quantities of gold in excess of $100 were required by penalties of imprisonment and fines. And by the way, the fine was $10,000 and the imprisonment could be 10 years. That's a big price to pay for not turning in your gold. Well, if you were holding gold, you had to turn it in. You had 1 month. You had to do it by May of 1933. And what they did with this gold, they didn't put it away on shelves at the mint. They melted it down. They melted it down to put it back into the Treasury to back the U.S. economy during one of the most terrible economic times in the history of the country, the Great Depression. Well, that took all those coins out of the mix. But how did we get these? How did these coins survive that? Why weren't they turned in by American citizens? Who would risk having to pay a $10,000 fine or spend, it could be both, 10 years in jail just to keep these coins, just to keep one of them? Well, here's how it happened. There were some Americans who realized that they were legally allowed to move their gold to a foreign country, to Europe, and store their gold there and try to ride out these terrible times. And that's what happened. Gold was moved from the United States to Europe. And what happened then was the beginning of the European bank hoards. And these bank hoards featured United States gold coins. And they featured mostly $20 gold double eagles, and mostly common coins, mostly St. Gaudens, 1924s, 1927s. Coins with the highest mintages, the ones that were still available. And occasionally, there would be rare coins that would be sent over. And this is one such occasion. A scarce coin, as this, was sent to Europe for safekeeping to ride out the Great Depression. Now, here's the thing. This happened in 1933, but it wasn't for a year. It wasn't for two. No, this prohibition against owning gold lasted all the way to 1974. And it was President Gerald R. Ford who actually lifted the ban in 1974. And slowly, the gold began to make its way back to the United States of America, what we call the European bank hoards. We have some great buyers at this company who have positioned themselves to receive this gold, to even be in a position to cherry pick this gold. And we bypass the common dates, and we bypass the common coins, and we bypass the conditioned coins that we're not interested, that collectors are not interested in. And that leaves really small mini hoards. This 1913 Philadelphia struck $10 gold Indian. This coin that was designed as only the second redesign of American coinage completed by Augustus St. Gaudens. He passed away, unfortunately, in 1907, just before these coins were released. Over the generations, Augustus St. Gaudens has become legendary. And partly it's because he mentored so many great artists who came after him. When we think of the great renaissance of American coin redesign, Augustus St. Gaudens' fingerprint is all over every design. He was the master. He taught Adolph A. Wyman. He taught Herman McNeil. He taught all of these great artists who designed these great coins. All started with Augustus St. Gaudens. And this was the second completed design. And he only did two. This is the classic United States Indian eagle, a coin that made history. I'm almost out of time here, folks, so I want to express the urgency of the condition we have, of the rarity, of the lack of coins surviving, the small population. And that's a great shot. What you're seeing right there is luster and strike. I want you to notice that Liberty is adorned with the Native American headdress. But the unusual thing about that adornment, that headdress was not worn by women. And Augustus St. Gaudens pointed this out to Teddy Roosevelt. But Roosevelt didn't care. And that was actually a last-minute addition. And he wanted that Native American headdress on Liberty's head for the symbolism of America embracing its First Nation, Native Americans. And so that design became legendary. Almost 50% of these coins were melted by our own government in a short period of time. Doesn't even count the thousands and thousands of coins, maybe even millions, that were melted in several other run-ups or gold rushes, if you will. This was the most used American coin in jewelry. If you've ever seen coin jewelry, you'll know it's all about the $10 Indian. That's how unique, how unusual, how amazing, how bold a tribute it was. And that contributed to the lack of coins being available today in mint state. This coin was also struck for commerce. So it was used in commercial transactions all over this great country. And at a time, ladies and gentlemen, when these coins were issued, their purchasing power was amazing. 99% of the people who had these coins would not hoard them or save them. They would not collect them. They would release them once again back into commerce. Once they had got their hands, they would spend them. Those coins became worn out. As they wore, the government would pull them out of circulation and melt them down and replace them with others, or not replace them at all in the case of what happened during the 30s. So when you look at the scarcity of this coin, it's clear that the government melting almost 48% of those coins, that the few that survive today are evidenced by recorded archival population figures. There is hardly any of these coins that have ever been, less than 1,300 coins. It's also the perfect grade because a mint state 63 allows you the opportunity to get an extremely, it's not just reasonably priced. This coin is below its value. These are worth way more than $2,195. Everything about this coin points to its scarcity. It's way scarcer than its price indicates. And I think that is a reason to put this coin away, because you're getting an unbelievable value. I'm really out of time here, ladies and gentlemen. The thing is, I just don't want to leave, because here I am surrounded by these great coins where they are amazing. And you so rarely see them. They shouldn't exist at all. They should have been melted in the 1930s. They should have been turned into the government. How they escaped is a miracle in itself. They made their way to Europe. They made their way back to the U.S. Rick and Jack landed this deal. Everyone is certified in the unbelievable grade of mint state. And for those of you who are gold Indian collectors, you know that that mint state 63 of a gold Indian is like the Holy Grail. I mean, that is the grade that everybody wanted, because as they get into higher grade, they exist into such small quantities that they're mega thousands of dollars. This one at $2,195 with the split pay is the coin right now that means everything to a gold Indian collector. Man, this is just something else. I hate to go, but I have to, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank all of you for watching this presentation. Please remember, what you see right here, there isn't much more available besides that. This is one of the largest quantities we've ever had in one of these little mini hoards from the European Bank Hoard. So take advantage. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more great coins. I hope to see you real soon.
Want the latest numismatic news, access to exclusive interviews, as well as secrets to collecting from RCTV's hosts, Rick, James, and myself, Jack? Then sign up for the Coin Chronicles, Rare Collectibles TV's monthly newsletter. Get all the inside information about the coins you crave in the RCTV Coin Chronicles. Signing up is easy, and our monthly newsletter is free. Just visit our website at rarecollectiblestv.com and start accessing the Coin Chronicles today.
Sign up for the Coin Chronicles monthly newsletter at rarecollectiblestv.com. It's absolutely free. That's rarecollectiblestv.com.
Jack and Rick here, the coin guys. What we have, Jack, is huge. Huge as in the best we have ever handled, ever seen. Yeah. This is truly extraordinary. This is something, the kind of opportunity, it reminds me of the great European Bank Hoard, which featured some incredibly rare United States gold double eagles that we're able to offer our viewers at just below market prices.
Right.
This, folks, is the great American silver dollar hoard.
Right. And I'm sure people are wondering, but we have.
That's not even a half a bag,
No,
Jack.
this is just a small portion of the dollar hoard that we are sorting through and cherry picking the best coins.
Approximately 50 bags. and these were uncirculated mint state silver dollars. This is simply, it's the greatest hoard of uncirculated Morgan and Peace dollars that Jack and I have ever seen or handled in our lifetime. Again, approximately 50 bags, folks. This is one of the great silver dollar hoards in the history of U.S. numismatics. Bags and bags and bags put away for decades and decades and decades of uncirculated. I have to stress that. They're uncirculated. They're never been in circulation.
Exactly. These aren't your typical circulated, low-grade, slick Morgan dollars, Peace dollars.
And we're going to show you the difference in just a few minutes. But there are mixed dates all struck between 1878 to 1935. 1935 was the last year of the Peace Dollar series.
Right, correct.
Jack, I do believe that, you and I, we work so hard, harder than any other coin team, I believe, in the country, to be able to find these most extraordinary, once-in-a-lifetime, rare coin finds for our viewers, you folks watching, and to be able to offer them at the lowest possible collector-friendly prices. As a collector, you and I are both collectors at heart.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
There is nothing more exciting and satisfying than knowing that we have a rare coin find that quite often represents a truly once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our viewers.
Right. And in all my years, I worked at Stax, Rare Coins in New York, the oldest auction house, the numismatic coin company in the country. Never did we have a hoard of brilliant uncirculated silver dollars like this.
Jack, you just mentioned Stax Auction House. Now, folks, you need to know a little bit about Stax Auction House. It's the oldest, most established rare coin auction house in the country, Jack.
Right.
You were a buyer at Stax for almost a decade.
Oh yeah, I worked in the counter there for over 7 years. I saw a lot of coins there. I mean, Stax goes back to the 30s, back to the Great Depression, and they've handled pretty much all of the greatest rarities in U.S. coins. They handled the first U.S. silver dollar from 1794, and it's an amazing
Folks,
coin.
He said the first U.S. silver dollar. He's not talking about the first year silver dollars were struck. 1794 was the first year they were struck. Jack is talking about the first 1794 silver dollar struck, period. The first silver dollar ever struck. Fine, extraordinary condition.
Right, and even a low-grade coin, it's about $100,000 coin. This particular coin, it's a special coin. You just look at it, you can tell this was not made like a normal coin.
Specimen 66. You were able to handle that with Stax Auction House.
When we got deals of silver dollars, and usually it was first off like a cigar box with like 5 coins or something. And once in a while, if we did get lucky enough where someone came in with a bag, a large quantity, those coins were circulated. They weren't uncirculated coins like we have here. They were just worn coins that people saved after they had been used in commerce for decades. So what we have here is just the most thrilling hoard of brilliant uncirculated Morgan and Peace dollars I've ever seen, and probably will ever see. I mean, this is just such a unique opportunity for a coin collector to be able to have this kind of group of coins.
Folks, other dealers, other shows may talk the talk, but Jack and I walk the walk. We have put together some of the finest collections for our clients over the years in Peace dollars, Morgan dollars, gold double eagles. We work so hard at assembling these sets that we have for you today because Jack and I recognize what a truly great buying opportunity cherry picking the finest Morgan and Peace dollars represent for you folks out there watching today. This is a great collector-friendly opportunity. If you've never acquired a rare Peace dollar before, this is the time to start. The set we've assembled, Jack, we're calling it our perfect Peace dollar collection. It's the ideal combination, offering exceptional, eye-appealing, extremely scarce, and uncirculated Peace dollars at the lowest possible collector-friendly price. And today, Jack and I have cherry-picked some of the finest examples selected especially for all our viewers who have never owned a superb uncirculated silver dollar before. This is that moment in time to start collecting these coins, because not only have we selected some great high-quality examples of some great dates, but we have them again at a great collector-friendly price.
Right.
Please take a look at the first coin we were offering that Jack and I have selected for you folks in this collection.
The coin we have here is the 1923 Philadelphia P Mint. And you can see these are just beautiful
It is
coins.
stunning. Boy, look.
Look at that luster.
We're going to get a close-up on this. This is a brilliant uncirculated, folks, and that is so important because Morgan and Peace dollars are all about condition rarity. Look at this coin. It looks like it was just struck.
That's
You have-
stunning.
Yeah, you have to understand, folks, these coins were struck. They were dumped into bins. One coin would fall on top of another. They all have a lot of bag marks, almost all of them anyway. From the bin, they go through coin counting machines, and then they're dumped into bags. They were thrown on the trains across the country.
Right.
To survive an uncirculated condition is so unique.
No, it's a minor miracle.
And usually they're very heavily bag marked.
Right.
Here's some Peace dollars, Jack. I went into a local coin shop that I bought, and most people probably have Peace dollars or Morgan dollars in their home.
Right,
but
right.
like you say, they're almost always circulated. For example, this is happens to be a rare date. In uncirculated condition, this coin is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. 1934. Struck at San Francisco,
But this particular coin is far from uncirculated.
Yes,
This
it's
is like
very heavily circulated. And this is how most of your Peace
very
dollars.
fine or so, maybe.
Yeah. Here's another example. 1926. Now, Jack, though, even if they're uncirculated, they're, again, usually heavily bag marked.
Right.
Here's, folks, I have your typical uncirculated 1923P. Now, before the show, I cracked this holder around the edges. You can see it's all broken around the edges, so I'll be able to remove the top.
You have to use a hammer. These NGC
yeah.
is pretty. These holders are not easy to open.
You have to whack
have
it
to
really
damage them
hard
pretty seriously.
To get it. These are airtight holders. By the way, these holders that you see by NGC, they're state-of-the-art holders. These are the holders that the Smithsonian uses for their collection. So anyhow, you can see at the top there, it's graded at mint state. It's a mint state 60. But it's a low, it's a mint state 60. I'm going to take the top now that I broke apart so I could remove it. We could zoom in and you could see the typical bag-marked, uncirculated Peace dollar. And you could see all the marks over the surface of the coin in the face, just myriad marks all over the surface, just through the process of minting the coin.
Right.
They're struck, dumped into bins, go through coin counting machines,
sorted,
thrown into
counted.
bags. Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
And so even though it's never been in circulation, it has a lot of marks on
And
it.
those mint bags are heavy. I mean, you have to imagine this coin is in a bag of 1,000 coins.
very heavy.
It's about 55, 60 pounds of coins. And when they're moving these on trains into banks and stuff, these guys are not tenderly putting them. They're tossing them and dropping them, and they're just banging against each other.
Now, we're talking about condition rarity.
Right.
There are two kinds of rarity when we're talking about rare coins, folks. First of all, there's coins with absolute rarity. Right. One of the most famous coins, 1913 Liberty Nickel.
Right, very famous.
They only
coin,
struck
yeah.
5 in proof.
Right.
So even if you own the lowest grade example of the 5, it's worth
Millions of dollars.
millions of dollars.
Oh, yes.
Even though it's the lowest grade, because it's rare in any condition. Morgan dollars and Peace dollars were struck in the hundreds of millions. Most of them that are circulated, like these coins here, I was able to pick them up at the coin shop for $35, $40. But to get them in uncirculated condition, this is where they become really rare. Here's a chart showing the total number of Peace dollars struck through the entire series. Peace dollars were struck from 1921 to 1935. Over 24 different dates and mint marks. Over the entire series, they struck about 190 million coins. But of those, only 1.3 million have been certified in uncirculated mint state condition. That's less than 1%.
Right.
That is what's called condition rarity. Less than 1%, folks. That's why when you look at the values of uncirculated peace dollars over the last many years, here's a chart that compares the price of bullion to the price of uncirculated peace dollars. Now, Jack and I have never promoted bullion on our show. I mean, I remember a lot of shows would talk about bullion. I remember back in 2012 when silver bullion was around $32 an ounce. They were telling their clients to back up the truck because all these experts were predicting silver would be worth $100, $200 an ounce by the end of the year, or by the year after. I mean, these experts, to me, they were like the proverbial broken clock. They were, they were right twice a day. You never heard about all their lousy predictions, like the fact that when you look on that chart, right now, silver's around $18 an ounce.
Right.
So all those people that back the truck up, they're really in the hole. On the other hand, we have talked about uncirculated Morgan dollars and peace dollars.
Right.
When you look on the chart, back in 2012, a complete uncirculated set of peace dollars, and just lowest grade Mint State 60 was around $4,000. And here we are, while silver has gone down in value, almost 50% to where it was, the price of an uncirculated Mint State 60 peace dollar set has increased in value dramatically because of the condition rarity.
Right.
They're not minting or mining new uncirculated peace dollars. They were last struck in 1935. What there was, what they struck is all there is. So when we came across this hoard that had been put away for decades and decades and decades, and today we get to pass our good fortune on to you. The first coin we have in this set, the 1923p. Here's one comp I was able to find, Jack. This is not even truly uncirculated.
Oh, it's clean.
It's
that's a damaged coin.
This is a PNG dealer, folks. PNG dealer, and it's a fair price. MS60, but it's cleaned, details. In other words, the coin is some kind of abrasive has been used on the coin to scratch the surface, so it's not even a gradable coin, really.
Right.
And yet that coin is at $65. Take a look at these 23Ps we have for you today, folks. We've got these 23Ps. You take a look at these. If you want one example, call in now. We've got 6 different peace dollar dates in total in this set, but we're starting with the 23P because this is the most common date in the set. It's the most common peace dollar, but in an uncirculated condition, it's a scarce coin. We've got these coins for only $49 a coin for a 1923P cherry-picked by Jack and I. Hand-selected, choice, brilliant, uncirculated condition. $49 a coin. If you've never bought a Morgan dollar or peace dollar before, this is the perfect time to start, to get a brilliant, uncirculated example. Not a circulated piece. Right. Again, I've seen shows where they show silver dollars and they're circulated. Most peace dollars are circulated.
I mean, these are coins that are virtually 100 years old now, and they look like they're brand new.
Exactly.
And they're not. They're almost 100 years old.
And it's only $49, folks.
Yes.
Now, here's where it gets even better. I've put together this chart where I'm listing all the Morgans and peace dollars in uncirculated condition in order of their condition rarity, from the most common dates to the rarest dates. And this first page here are the most common dates. And there you see the 23P at the top. The next coin you're going to get is a 22P, considerably more elusive than the 1923P. We pulled a couple comps for the 1922P here, Jack. There's an MS61, kind of some toning that doesn't look so attractive. MS61 for $500. There's an MS63 for $632. That's the one that sold in auction. That's sold in auction for $632. There's one in MS62. Again, that looks like, it doesn't look very attractive to me, for over $1,800. Okay? Take a look at the 22Ps we have here, folks. The 23P is $49. If you want to add a 1922p to your collection, you get the 2 coins, folks, for $98. In other words, the 22p is an additional $49, the same price as the 1923p. The pair for only $98. If your coin budget is only $100 a month, this is the perfect place to start. A beautiful, brilliant, uncirculated 1923p, and then the next coin, the 1922p. And now, Jack, this is where it gets even better, because you look on that page.
Right.
The third coin we have is the 1925p, and it's considerably rare.
Much rarer.
About 6 times rarer than the 1923p. Only around 55,000 examples certified in uncirculated mint state condition. Extremely elusive. You take a look at the 25p we have that we are including in this set. Again, we bought this incredible silver dollar hoard of mixed dates. And when we get good fortune that comes our way, there's nothing we enjoy more than passing that opportunity on to you.
So it's not 6 times as much money.
It's not 6 times. It's not 6
should
times.
be.
It's not 3 times. It's not double as the price. In fact, folks, you get all 3 coins for $147. In other words, it's the same price as the previous 2 pieces.
Right.
$49 for all 3 coins. $49 each. $147 for the 3 coin set. It really doesn't get any better than that. $147 for a beautiful, brilliant, uncirculated 1923p, a 22p that's even more elusive than the 23, and then a 25p that's about 6 times rarer than the 23p. I'm getting you should talk for a while.
It's so
now, Jack. I'm getting
I
tongue-tied
understand.
here.
It's exciting when we get coins that are this beautiful and we can offer them at these kind of prices. It does get a little. It can be a little overwhelming.
Now,
I mean,
we already have people calling in. Again, there's 6 coins total that we're offering today, folks. We have people calling in. We've Jack. We have some open lines, but I understand we've already had some people ordering the complete 6-coin set. They haven't even seen the other 3 coins yet. Well, let's go to the second page here.
because they get rarer and rarer.
This is where Jack and I really knock it out of the park, because now we're getting into some really, really rare coins. Second page, we're calling these the scarce dates. You can see there are no peach dollars on this page. There's some Morgan, they're all Morgan dollars. You have dates like the 81cc and the 85cc on that page. Those are $1,000 in uncirculated mint state condition.
Famous coins, 78cc. Those are some famous rare coins.
But the coins next coin we have, Jack, is even rarer than the coins that are on this page.
That's exciting.
The next page we have a couple peach dollars on there, 21p. That's really rare. Here's a couple 21Ps I have here, Jack. Now, we're not offering the 21P, but you see it's highlighted in black there. But a 21P, here's one MS60 details, and this is a PNG deal. MS60 is a $550 coin. Again, uncirculated MS60, but again, clean,
right,
details.
Damaged coin.
It's
right.
damaged. It's pretty much like a circulated coin once you clean it, folks.
Right.
None of the coins we offer are cleaned or damaged. They're brilliant uncirculated specimens that Jack and I have gone through with a fine-tooth comb and cherry-picked out of these bags. And this coin by itself is $550. Here's another example. Same thing, details, meaning it's been cleaned.
Right.
A PNG dealer, Professional Numismatist Guild.
Right.
That's a tongue twister. I'm a PNG member. Again, it's a $500 coin. The coin we have is even rarer than the 21p. It's on the next page. Take a look at this. This is extraordinary, Jack. This is where we were so fortunate, folks, to get a handful of these rarer dates in some of these bags. Because the next coin we have is a
22D.
22D.
As you see there with those pops, much
Only
scarcer
7,500 coins certified. There are coins on this page, folks, in mint state condition that are $1,000, $2,000 or more.
Yeah, easily.
Take a look at the 22D we have. This is the 4th coin in the set. The 4-coin set with the 22D is $259. That's all 4 coins, not just for the 22D. That's all 4 coins. 1922D. Now the mint mark on these peace dollars is fascinating.
Yeah.
The mint mark on the reverse, when you turn it over, it looks like they use the same mint mark for the Mercury
Yeah,
dimes.
it's very small.
Tiny.
It's just there below the word 1, just above the eagle's feather, tail feather there. Near the rim. Yeah, it's at about 7, 8
There we
o'clock
go. We're
near the
zooming
rim.
in there.
It's
Now
so
you can
tiny.
see the tiny little D. That is the mint mark on the peace dollar.
But it's so important. It's so important to
It is.
designate this coin was struck in Denver.
Yes, because so the 22D is over 10 times rarer than the 22P.
Right.
And
It's a
so the
lot
22D is in the set, and the whole set is only $259. So we're passing our good fortune on to you. We got a handful of some of these rare dates, a 5th coin in the set. Well, Jack, we had to have a peace dollar struck at the San Francisco Mint.
yeah, of
The
course.
Peace dollars were struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco.
Right. Right. So we needed to add an S mint. We decided on the 22S.
We're so lucky
Again,
to get some
tough date.
22S's.
Oh yeah, tough date. You saw on that chart. There's about 6,300 coins graded, but mint state.
6,300 coins.
So a much tougher date, and we thought that was important to add some of these tough dates as we're going through this hoard. We're finding coins. We're figuring out what is there enough to make a few sets. And we found these coins. We thought this is the perfect coin to put in this set. It's an S mint. So condition rarity, tough date, scarce coin.
So fortunate to find some of the 22S's in this bag. So we're able to offer it at this kind of price.
Right. Yeah. This is just $379, and that's not for the 22S. That's now for the 5 coins. The 4 prior coins
set.
we talked about. Adding in this 5th coin, just $379. And there's some, as you know, obviously we're getting into some much scarcer dates. That 22S.
There you see the S,
the 22D.
yes, again, the tiny mint mark there, Jack.
Right, yep.
There's a San Francisco mint mark. That's, again, so important. This is not a 22P. This is about, 30 times, 40 times, 50 times rarer than a 22P?
Right, much rarer.
Absolutely. A 22 San Francisco mint peace dollar. And that's all for $379. Now, folks, again, we got a lot of people calling in the 6-coin set. We said it's a 6-coin set. Sasha, what's the 6th coin? Let's continue on with our chart here, our condition rarity chart. What's next on that chart?
Oh, it's not even on that page.
It's not on that page. Let's go to the next page. Where is that coin? Here we are, the last coin in the set. Here we get into the extremely rare dates, fewer than 4,000 certified. Wow. We did get some 23Ds, Jack, only 3,600 graded. And you look there, for example, 1879 CC. Folks, 1879 CC, I mean, even in AU condition.
Oh yeah,
AU
famous.
condition is a $4,000 coin.
It's a famous coin, 79cc. Everybody collects Morgans.
Yeah.
Knows that is a hard coin to get. It's an expensive coin.
Typical low-grade example, MS62 which is a good grade, but it's over $6,000, and that's where the market is for 79cc. Well, you're getting into silver dollars that have incredible condition rarity. So going back to that chart there, we've got this last coin to find a handful of these 23Ds in these bags.
Right.
You take a look at this, folks. We've got the last coin, the entire 6-coin set. Jack, it's $595. That's less than $100 a coin.
That's a great
including
value.
the 23D.
Yeah, this is an extraordinary value. This is just a great value. I mean, those 3 mint-marked coins there alone, we just showed you on the rarity chart how few of them exist in mint state. Those 3 coins alone could easily cost well over $600. But for $595 for this 6-coin set, plus on top of it, we're going to put it in a nice wood box for you to store them in. It's a great collection for the price. It's just an extraordinary price for this collection.
Yeah, we've got this presentation box for this 6-coin set, folks. This peace dollar collection. Again, we've got a lot of folks call. Do we have any open lines here? 2 open lines. Jack, we are not doing our job here. We shouldn't have any open lines for this.
Right.
Folks, well, let me just
Let's make sure
circle
they
back a little
understand.
bit.
Let's make sure they understand just how rare these coins
I've handled
are.
some of the finest silver dollar collections. I've assembled some of the finest.
Absolutely.
My clients have gotten awards for some of the.
Right.
Sasha, where is that plaque for one of my clients? For the finest known Morgan dollar collection in 2006.
Right.
I have clients who have some of the finest known silver dollar collections. That was the #1 set on the NGC registry. And here we have some extraordinary peace dollars, a horde of peace dollars and Morgan dollars, the likes of which I have never handled. You never handled in your years at
Right,
Stax.
right.
We were really fortunate. And the nice thing is we're able to assemble this in such a way that even if your budget is only $100, we're starting with the 1923p because that was the coin that was the most common in these bags.
Right.
We're able to offer the 23p's for only $49 a coin.
Right.
And if you want to get more than one 23p, you can get more than one. You can get 10 or 20 if you want, and they're $49 a coin. But then if you want to build a set, the second coin we have is a tougher coin, considerably more difficult, the 22p, but we're able to offer the pair for only $98. In other words, an additional $49. An additional, same price as the 23p. But then this is where we start really, I mean, this is a triple right here. If you can afford 3 examples, for $147, we're including the 1925p, which is about 6 times rarer than the 23p. And here's where you're getting to some really scarce coins in uncirculated mint state condition. But then this is where we really knock it out of the park because the fourth coin is the very scarce 1922D. In fact, on my rarity chart, it's a rare date. Only 7,541 examples certified in mint state condition by NGC. And we've got this 22D included in the set, all 4 coins, for only $259. Now, I understand we've got a lot of people buying the entire 6-coin set. The entire 6-coin set's $595, but this 4-coin set for only $259 is a tremendous value. If that's your coin budget, folks, that's a great place to start.
Right.
You can't do any better than that. Now, the 5th coin we have, because you're getting that 22D, now the 5th coin we have includes, as you point out, a San Francisco mint issue, the 22S, which is even rare, only 6,400 examples certified. So you're getting all 3 mints, the P, D, and S in the 5-coin set, and you're getting it all for $379. So we're getting a lot of people calling in. Do we have any open lines? The lines are currently locked right now. If you just hold on, we will get to you, folks. Just be patient on this. This is a riveting offer. This is the perfect place to start, our perfect peace dollar offer here for the collector of today's. Such collector-friendly prices. The 5-coin set for only $379. But then, if you want the monster set, if you want all 6, we've got the 1923D.
Right.
Only 3,678 examples certified in uncirculated mint state condition. Could we get a hand shot of this last coin, Sasha? 1923D, and again, that tiny little Denver mint mark, which means everything, because this
Makes all the
coin is
difference.
about roughly 100 times rarer than the 23P.
Right.
Because it has that tiny little Denver mint mark there, right at about 8 o'clock, right above the tail feathers. And the whole set is only $595 in the custom case. This is the kind of set, folks. This is the kind of set that Jack and I specialize in, offering you coins with tremendous future potential, coins that offer tremendous eye appeal, quality, and rarity. And you're getting this entire 6-coin set for only $595, less than $100 a coin.
Yeah, I could easily see a few of these coins individually selling for that much money.
I mean, we talked about, again, some of the rarest Morgan dollars, like the 1893S. In just mint state 60, AU examples are $50,000, $70,000, $80,000. The lowest mint state examples are over $100,000. And here we've got some really tough peace dollars, the entire set for $595, with tremendous condition rarity, tremendous eye appeal.
Right. Yeah, they're beautiful coins. Stunning.
These are our selections from this great American silver dollar hoard, an extraordinary hoard of approximately 50 bags of mixed dates Morgan and Peace dollars that Jack and I have cherry-picked, because again, these are really choicer examples from these bags. Right. And we were so fortunate to get some rare dates in these bags that we've been able to include in these sets at such collector-friendly prices.
Right.
Again, these are not your circulated Peace dollars.
No, these are not these worn-out
so
coins.
important. These
are
are
not these worn-out coins.
They're uncirculated.
These are uncirculated coins. Like here, I'm just pulling coins out of the bag, and we cherry-picked, but we almost didn't have to.
We're very careful.
These bags were well taken care of. Like, look, I just pulled this right out of this bag. I mean, these are the kind of coins that we're finding.
These bags were put away for decades and decades and decades, folks. Remember, the last Peace dollars were struck in 1935. Some of these coins were put away in the 1930s. Okay, this is a long, long, old collection passed down through generations from the family where they had these Peace dollars. It's extraordinary. It's the great American silver dollar hoard that we have here on Rick's U.S. Coin Show. So, in closing, this is the finest group of silver dollars we've ever handled. Right. It's extraordinary. I hope you can get at least one coin, that 23p for $49 in brilliant uncirculated condition. If you can swing the entire set, folks, please do so.
Oh, yeah.
From the Coin Guys, I'm Rick.
I'm Jack.
Hey, thank you for watching.
Great to be here.
But please stay tuned. Please stay tuned, because you never know what we're going to come up with next.
Welcome, collectors. I'm James Gerstel. This is Rare Collectibles TV. This is a gold event that I'm really proud to bring you because it involves an extremely scarce coin from a time when it was the workhorse coin of American commerce. The $5 gold series was more widely used than any other size, and heavily melted as well. We here at Rare Collectibles TV love United States classic gold. And one of the reasons we love it so much is because the history is so extensive, and all the trials and tribulations of the U.S. economy over the course of a century are illustrated in our gold coin production and illustrated in the surviving amount of gold coins that remain today. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, is a coin that should not exist at all, because literally, nearly every single one of these coins are only to be found in circulated condition. How is it that Rare Collectibles TV manages to find some of the finest United States gold in some of the greatest conditions available out there in the marketplace? We work really hard, and I got to say this, and you may have heard this from other folks, our connections for United States gold from all over the world, and this is very important, are very extensive and top-notch. And I really have to congratulate the buyers at this company for coming up with some of the greatest deals. Everybody wants gold today because, well, for thousands of years, even as far back as the Egyptian times, gold has been used as money, accepted by all of mankind over the centuries as money. Today, that rings more true than ever. What are we talking about, ladies and gentlemen? From 1893, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the one and only United States $5 gold Liberty, all certified by Professional Coin Grading Service in a Mint State 63. I'm starting to get excited about this. Let me show you the main reason why. We're going to go back a little ways, ladies and gentlemen, to the California Gold Rush. We all know the California Gold Rush took place in 1849, when people all over the world made their way to California to strike it rich in the gold fields. What happened was an extremely large amount of gold was discovered. And this gold was transferred to the U.S. Treasury, and then it was struck into coins. And it enriched the United States of America to the point where it became the world's top nation. In that short time frame, the West and the Western states changed the United States of America. An influx of population is an understatement. Literally, hundreds of thousands of people came to the Western states, came to California to participate in gold exploration. Well, what became of that was $20 gold pieces, $10 gold, $5 gold coins, $2.50 gold, $1 gold. There was even a $3 gold, and for a real short period of time, a $4 gold, known as a Stella. These are the sizes that the United States used to strike gold in as money, meant to circulate. No coin worked as hard in commerce and was used as extensively by the population of the United States of America, and especially out west, which is why I mentioned it, as the $5 gold Liberty. Now, one more time, I want to show you what we're dealing with, because I hope you get the idea. United States gold $5 Liberties, especially from this year, because I'll tell you all about the panic of 1893 and how that changed the whole world. But gold coins from this period of time that remain in uncirculated condition are an anomaly. A total miracle, if you really want to know the truth. Most of these coins are in circulated condition. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to $5 gold Liberties, minted between 1839 and 1908, here is the story. The entire series comprised of over 74 million coins. And here is the real great part about this. The graded population of these coins in mint state, that's the second line you see there, MS60 or higher, 185,332 coins. That's the entire series between 1839 and 1908. The population of the entire series graded in MS63 condition of all of the Liberties, 37,759. So it becomes clear to us collectors here at Rare Collectibles TV that the $5 gold Liberty is a very, very scarce coin. Now, anywhere you go and anywhere you read, you're going to find out that this $5 gold coin, you know, back in the day, as we like to say, let's say back in 1893, $5 was a huge amount of money. It's funny because today, you could equate that $5 gold coin to, well, about $1,000, maybe even more than that. That was the purchasing power of gold. That was the strength of $5 gold Liberties. Let me show you why today the $5 gold Liberty that we have selected, 1893, pre-1900, is one of the most sought after coins. And we have them all in mint state. And that in itself should not be happening. I'm going to tell you that story in a second. I want to let you in on a little Rare Collectibles TV secret. We do a lot of research here. You would not believe the army of people we have who are constantly perusing our numismatic library. We have an unbelievable numismatic library that literally took decades to accumulate. And in that library is some of the greatest literature and books about United States gold. And from that, we start to learn some of the greatest facts. And then we get tied into the U.S. archives directly, and we do a lot of research, hours, untold hours. And what we find out is that this coin is below the radar. Let's take a look at the breakdown specifically for the 1893 $5 gold. This is a PCGS population report right here. Hardly any of these coins exist. Over 1.5 million coins struck. But look at the small amount of coins that have been graded. In MS62, only 3,981 coins have ever been graded. And that is since the mid-1980s, when PCGS first started grading coins. Now, we're featuring MS-63s, and I'll tell you why. Well, first of all, look at the population. A mere 2,599 have been graded in the history of coin grading at PCGS. In that time span, that's nothing. Now, if you want to illustrate real rarity, take a look at one grade up. In Mint State 64, only 539 coins exist. And look at the populations, how they go down. This exists in hardly any $5 gold liberties the way this one does. And I'll tell you why in a second. Mint State 65, 44 coins in the history of PCGS have been graded. So don't tell me that an 1893 is not a rare coin. Now look at this. Mint State 66, only 7 coins exist. And the finest known example is one Mint State 68. And you're never going to see that coin because that coin will never surface. This coin, of which the Smithsonian, the world's largest coin collection, largest U.S. coin collection, has a Mint State 62 example in their collection. So when you go to the Smithsonian, Washington, D.C., and wait in line for hours, the Mint State 1893 Philadelphia $5 gold liberty that you will see will be a Mint State 62. So we're beating the Smithsonian. That's pretty good. Hardly any grade Mint State 63. And Mint State 63 is a fabulous grade to own. All original mint luster, a coin that has never circulated, a coin that was put away. How did this happen? You're going to find out in a second. Now, everybody knows that auctions are the best way to buy coin, right? Because when you go to an auction, what does it start at? It starts at 0. So you decide what you want to pay for it. That one, $1,380. Hold the presses, because right here, right now, we have an unbelievable quantity. And I don't get to say that very often. Of a coin where there's only about 2,500 that have ever been graded, we have a neat little quantity here. Look at that, folks. Look at that luster. Look at that original strike. Those are all 1893 Ps. $995. $995 for an 1893 P. So we were sitting around talking yesterday. I brought up the fact that I want all the collectors out there to know, number one, this coin shouldn't even exist. Almost every single one will be circulated, be worn out, or have been melted down by the government. Because our government, the United States of America, melted a tremendous millions of United States gold coins during the 1930s. And so we were sitting around, and I began to say, you know, collectors already know this. It's not just $20 gold coins that are rare and sought after. It's not just $10 gold eagles that are rare and sought after. But one of the rarest of them all is the $5 gold, because nearly every single one of them, almost right down to the very, very last one, was circulated. So to find these coins in mint state is far, far tougher than $20 gold or even $10 gold. I got to say it. And I want to illustrate the collectability of classic U.S. gold. Have you ever heard of the 1911D $2.50 gold Indian? It's a small coin. It's a lot smaller than the $5 gold. But its rarity is not based on its gold content. Now, look at this. This is a 1911D in a mint state that sold at auction for almost $30,000. And I just want to illustrate to you the power of United States gold and the rarity of the ultimate workhorse coin, the $5 gold Liberty. If you had $5 gold liberties back in 1893, what would you do with the coin? You would spend them. In 1893, the United States suffered one of the worst depressions in our history. It was actually called the Panic of 1893. Back then, that's what they used to call depressions. You know, 1857, with the sinking of the Central America, that was the Panic of 1857. In 1893, there was a worldwide depression. And it affected all commerce all around the world. And it heavily affected the United States of America. In fact, in 1893, when our country was really just beginning to sow its oats, when it was beginning to expand as a republic, as a major power, it suffered a Great Depression. 15,000 businesses closed in the United States of America. And when you consider 1893, a time when the United States of America was a much different country, population was so much lower. Population in 1893 was like 30 million people. Can you imagine 15,000 businesses closing at that time? So the panic of 1893, why does it affect this coin right here? Nobody would put a coin like this away. This coin right here was spent by everybody. There was a depression going on. It lasted until 1897. It involved all major business and minor businesses, big and small, banks, the government, everybody, all over the world. Most of these coins got spent because nobody, literally nobody, could afford to put these coins away. So the fact that these coins exist and uncirculated today, as evidenced by the small populations, leads me to conclude that when I see people selling this coin for $1,400 or $1,500 or $2,000, and you go up a grade and you're going to spend $1,000 more, and you go up another grade, forget it. Forget it. You got to empty the bank for that one. Thousands and thousands and thousands. To be able to own this coin is absolutely a miracle. $995 for this coin, certified. Now, not only was the Panic of 1893 a major deal, in 1929, the United States of America suffered the Great Depression. It began in 1929, got really bad during the 1930s. It was by far the worst depression, it was worldwide, that the U.S. ever suffered. Unemployment was rampant everywhere. I mean, huge amounts of people out of work. Banks were going under. People started hoarding gold because gold is that security, no matter what. People will always turn to gold, and it's been proven for thousands of years. So people started taking their greenbacks and exchanging it for gold. The government saw this happening and knew that without gold in the Treasury's coffers, the economy of the United States would not recover. President at the time during the Great Depression was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And he was famous for his fireside chats where he would communicate to the whole country by radio, and he would lecture often. And he began earlier in the year of 1933 to admonish people to take it easy, to not hoard so much gold, to not panic. People did it anyways. So in April of 1933, there was a proclamation, a presidential decree, 6102, that said 1 month you have to turn in all your gold. By May, everybody in the United States of America holding $100 or more worth of gold had to turn in their gold to the United States Treasury, to their bank, to the government, so it could be melted down, put in Fort Knox to back the economic recovery. Well, there were a lot of enterprising Americans who did not want to turn in their gold, just didn't want to do it. They began shipping their gold overseas where it was legal to own, and they began storing it in banks across Europe. Many, many generations later, these hoards of coins began to come back to the United States, known as the Great European Bank Hoard. 99% of these coins, literally, were $20 double eagles of very common varieties, $20 saints most of the time, the common varieties. $10 gold occasionally. But the rarest are these $5 gold 1893s because they're in mint-state condition. So this is a coin that should have been melted down. And as you can see, this modern PCGS holder, these coins recently came from Europe, part of the European Gold Bank Hoard. Rare Collectibles TV does the European bank hoards like nobody else. In fact, there is nobody else. We have the ultimate conduit that leads us to scarce examples of these coins. We pass the common. We don't take the common coins. And we go for the truly scarce, the undervalued. Because when we know that a coin has unbelievable history and a future that is so bright because its populations are so low, its survivability is really, really low, that's the coin we want. Because we do a lot of study and we know. We seek out the below-the-radar coins. Now, you tell me, this coin should not exist today. Most of the examples you will find of coins like these, especially a coin that is dated during the time of one of the worst financial crises that the U.S. has ever gone through, this 1893 $5 gold Liberty. So there you have the $5 gold melt figures percentage-wise just during the period of 1933 to 1940. 33.67% of all the gold that was struck by the United States of America, $5 gold, between the years of 1839 and 1932, 33.67% were melted down. That's a big percentage. That's why you see those figures of over 75 million coins minted in the series, and then it drops down where hardly any in mint state are certified, and even fewer in mint state 63. I mentioned population, not population of coins that are graded, but population of the United States of America. And I was perusing our library and reading different articles in some of the major publications, and every one of them said that the $5 gold coins were so popular amongst the Western states. And let's take California, for example. Today, the state of California has over 40 million people. But in 1850, 92,000 people lived in this state. That was it. By 1860, 10 years into the gold rush, that was almost 380,000 people, just California alone. And by 1900, 1.5 million people lived in California alone. Increase in population. Happened in Utah, happened in Colorado, happened in Nevada, all of the Western states. And what was their preferred coin of exchange in commerce? You're looking at it right there. $5 gold Liberties. Folks, this coin from the time, do a little reading on the Panic of 1893, you will see that it was one of the worst financial calamities this country ever suffered. So these coins, when you couple the existence of these coins with the Panic of 1893, the Great Depression of 1929, the great melts of United States gold in 1933 to 1940, how does this coin exist? That's what we ask ourselves all the time. So take a look, because this really says it all. The mintage was over 1.5 million. Total certified in mint state 60 or higher. Look at that, folks. 8,772 coins. That's nothing. The percentage that are certified in MS 60 or higher percentage, a tick over 0.5%. You can't argue with that math. That is scarcity. Ladies and gentlemen, Rare Collectibles TV, we are one of the leading numismatic firms in the nation. One of the reasons for that is we seek out the rare and scarce at the best possible price. So you can rest assured that we will deliver extreme collectability in grades that you are not likely to see because they simply don't exist. And we find literally that needle in a haystack. And when we come up with a quantity like this, I'm blown away. Mint State 63. Now, I didn't even get into coin grading and the various degrees of coin grading. That's a whole other show. But let me just tell you that a Mint State 63 coin is right in that sweet spot where you get all original luster. You get an original strike. You get a coin that looks like it did the day it was struck in 1893 that has never been circulated. I don't know how it happened. For less than $1,000. So certified, amazing luster. Let's take one more look before they drag me off the set. $995. $5 gold Liberties. One of the scarcest issues is 1893, struck at Philadelphia. Hardly any exist. A lot were melted. This coin right here at $995, never going to happen again. Thank you so much for watching. Take a look at the great luster of these coins, the great price. They're live. And I want to thank you again for watching Rare Collectibles TV. You know what to do. Don't go anywhere. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rick Tamaska, and this is Rick's U.S. Coin Show. Rick's U.S. Coin Show is a brand new show that brings you rare, high quality, and unique coins at the most affordable prices on TV.
My name's Jack McNamara, and I love coins.
We're the Tamaska girls, Kim
and Caitlin.
Here at Rare Collectibles TV, we know what kind of coins you want because we're collectors ourselves.
I've been collecting coins for over 40 years.
I love finding coins all across the country and bringing them to you.
Whether you're new to coin collecting or an old pro, we've got the coins you're looking for.
After my first book, dealers began calling me the Cameo King.
Coin rarity and quality are what matter most to me.
Now that's eye appeal.
I do love Franklin's and Kennedy's.
Rare unique coins.
At the most affordable prices.
Coins are in my blood.
Now that's a beauty.
My goal is to bring you the ultimate in superb rare coins. Do you want the best? My favorite half dollar, or dollar for that matter, let's just say my favorite large denomination silver coin and silver series in mint state condition is the Franklin half dollar series. If you are a novice collector, or even if you are an experienced numismatist, you are likely unaware how truly rare and undervalued these coins are in gem MS65 fully struck condition. And that is just one of the reasons I am so attracted to these coins. Now, one of my favorite years in the Franklin half dollar series is the first year of issue, the first year they were struck. 1948, that exhibits the sharpest detail when found in fully struck condition, as the master die that was used to make all the working dies was in its most pristine, unworn state. Now the challenge, though, is finding the coins in gem condition, as very few were struck. The first year of the Franklin series mintage compared to the first year of the Kennedy half dollar series mintage. This is incredible. First year of the Kennedy series, the mint struck over 400 million mint state Kennedy half dollars. Philadelphia, 277 million. Denver, 156 million. The first year of the Franklin series, Philadelphia, 3 million coins. Denver, 4 million coins. Remember, these were struck for commerce, not collectors. Almost all of them went into commerce. They were used for spending money. Very few have survived in uncirculated condition. And when they do, they're usually really, really baggy. When you can find a beautiful, brilliant 1948 P&D Franklin in gem condition, it truly is a gorgeous coin. The full rounded bust of Franklin on the obverse and the broad, smooth surface of the Liberty Bell on the reverse provide easy targets for abrasions with other coins. And that's what makes these gems so rare. These coins are one of my specialties, folks. The Franklin is my favorite mint state half dollar because, again, they're so elusive, and right now they're really undervalued. Please take a look at some of the finest, brilliant 1948P and 1948T Franklins in existence in MS 65 FBL condition with brilliant surfaces. I have a limited number of these, so this has to be a shorter presentation. I have only around 15 of each in brilliant MS 65 condition. This is just gorgeous. To find a Franklin like this is really difficult. The only way you get a Franklin like this, folks, is from an original roll. And there are very few original rolls. And the typical original roll of Franklins, and I've had a few over the years, out of 20 coins, you're lucky if you find one MS64. To get a coin like this with so few marks, this coin, folks, is as rare as a 1941 S Walker in MS65. And those coins can go for $1,000. And then the Denver Mint issues that we have, equally as rare. In fact, the Denver Mint issues are even a little bit tougher in 6.5 FBL than the Philadelphia Mint issues, because the Denver Mint issues just seem to have more bag marks in general than the Philadelphia Mint issues. Look how smooth that bell is. These are the kind of surfaces I look for when I offer you MS65s. Because I've got another example here that you're not being offered, but I brought it along just to show you the difference. Because there's MS65s out there that I would say are on the low end of the MS65 spectrum. Here's a coin. You take a look at the bell. Notice that chatter all over the bell and on the yoke. That's really, really pronounced. It's really obvious. That happens to be a 51D MS65 FBL. I'm not interested in selling you coins that aren't really high-end MS65s. I look for a smooth cheek, clear fields, and a smooth bell. The bell should be really smooth with very, very few, if any, distractions on it, like you see right here. Look at that bell. No deep